Oh, and that's probably why pandas are. Hey, welcome to D&D. We are playing today. I looked at my screen looking for Kel for some reason, but he's not here yet.
It's like a phantom pain.
It is. I just wish Kel was here.
Many months later.
Yeah. He's in. We actually get to play a game on Saturday. We're in the same game together, so that's fun. We get to play alongside each other, which is something we haven't done in a very long time. But that's not this game. This game is Roll Incorporated in the Land of Nari. I am Matt, your DM today. One of these days it won't be me, but somebody else will DM a one shot or something. That came out bad. That's not. Let's rewind. Let's go live again. Let's start over.
Start the whole thing again.
We're just gonna. All right.
Okay, we're going live, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, welcome everybody to Roll Incorporated, where we like to sit around and mess things up. But first, before we get started, before I kick it over to Jackie for the announcements, which are new and unique and different from every other time, we have a sponsor today. Well, we had a sponsor today, but then they decided to go out and run for fun, which is like, who does that? But our sponsor was going to be exercise, but they're out doing that. They coupled together with sleep and good eating and water and exercise. All these things add a little bit of extra fun to your life, apparently. It's kind of funny. There you go. See, thank you, Abby. Look at that. Abby is just right there.
Oh,
stand-up desk.
It's kind of hard to sleep and exercise at the same time. I'm not sure how they work together.
I'll do our previous group of water. Our previous.
There you go. Look at. We're being represented by most of our sponsors. I took some time to shoot some video for this particular spot.
No, you didn't. No. I don't have Twitch pulled up. Hold on.
I don't have it though, because I never got it to Scott in time. But it was a picture of my dog going out and me and my dog doing some snowshoeing. But I didn't get it in time, so unfortunately, the exercise spot that I was going to do did not come through. So Scott is sitting there going, "You have what?" I was
like, what am I supposed to do right now?
Ready?
It's the looks on everybody's faces was completely different. One of a little bit terrified, one of really concerned. But anyway, go out and excercise. Go take a walk, even if it's only for a quarter mile. It'll do you good.
After the show, on break.
After the show, after just dang it.
You don't look.
Since when have you listened to me? All right. Speaking of Jackie, we're going to kick it over to her for some announcements. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a day.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Fremde, entrage, straight. Okay, I'm going to
do it in German.
That reference. No, it's a reference for only the top tier theater kids. Oh. And then, I'm not going to sing it though, but yeah, bonus points. You get a Portent dice if you know that reference. Yes, hi, welcome back to Roll Incorporated. Our normal, not new reminders up at the top. That was sprung on me in the last 30 seconds it was new and exciting. I don't have anything new and exciting, but I do have some reminders for you, which is that, of course, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you can subscribe for free once a month to a channel of your choosing. And we're coming up on February here as I get a notification that I've got 5 days remaining in my Twitch Prime. So we would love to have your support if you so choose. We are now on episode 30, very exciting. If you're looking at that number 30 and going, the last one I watched was like episode 22, don't worry, you can always go back to our YouTube page over at the Dice Cult, where we have a Roll Incorporated playlist for you to watch all of our lovely episodes with some really cool thumbnails that we've started incorporating. So like go and see some really cool little stuff that Ian has been making. And just like those views up. And yeah.
Follow, subscribe.
Yeah, you can also
Tell your friends.
Yeah, follow, subscribe, share it on whatever social media platform. Let's pump those numbers up to meet that YouTube algorithm.
Email every aunt and uncle, your grandma.
Yeah, turn it into a chain letter and just tell them that if they don't forward this to 10 people that they know,
they'll roll
We'll get them.
so many ones.
Yeah, it's just going to be a problem. They won't know what it means, but I'm sure they'll understand that it's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always very fun. That went off on a tangent I didn't expect. You can also go and follow us on Twitter, where you can see some cool art that we've been posting. Some of it you've seen in the video, and just like enjoy supporting our artists and hang out with us over on a different social media platform. I think normal announcements. So as always,
our Discord.
Oh, yes, our Discord. Sorry, strike that. Rewind.
See, I told you, new announcements.
We sort of mentioned it at last time, but if you actually go over to our About page on Twitch, you can now find a nice little Discord button, which will take you to our very fun community page where you can hang out with us. You can hang out with cast and crew of the other shows on the Dice Cult and other fans. And we're a really fun group. We post a lot of memes. It's very, very fun. That's last call for new fun announcements. All right, then, as always.
Wait, no.
No.
I'm done.
We're out. You're in this game yourself. We are out of here.
How dare you? You threw off my groove. Let's try that again without. I'm going to mute Matthew here. He's muted on my end, so I can't hear him. So,
I've just muted them as well.
As always, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, ignore our DM, and settle in with some good D&D content.
God knows we do.
How long do I keep him muted?
Just this game just makes me feel so loved. Every time.
I'm sure he's only saying the nicest of things about us.
So let's do a quick recap before we get into playing some D&D. What do we think? Recap time. Pulling it up while I stall. Yeah. So last week the Tram Fam made it to the week before they made it to the wall. Well, not the wall. They made it to the mountains where they were going to go look at what they believe to be a underground abandoned warehouse that used to be used for storing weapons and other things. The party arrived at the after following a barely used wagon path that went straight into the side of the mountain. They investigated the mountain and found the secret door that led them deep under the mountains. After walking for a couple of 100 feet into the mountains, they found two dirt collapses that they figured out how to get through without using too many charges of their ring of... what is that a ring of?
Mold Earth.
Mold Earth. Yeah, at some point I'll actually make that into an item and give it to you instead of just knowing we have it. The Ring of Mold Earth, and they, after getting past the second one, they arrived in front of another door. This one, quite obviously a door, a half circle, a semicircle door with a box next to it that took 3 keys. A little bit of looking around, and they found 3 dead bodies with the 3 keys on them. They used the 3 keys to open the door, and after jimmying it so it would stay open, they entered into what they quickly realized was the Impact Research Center, something that they had noted in the letter as they fought the creature on the road. The letter they had found after fighting the creature on the road. There's an alarm blaring, dead bodies around, and it very clearly something had gone wrong here. After looking around some, they met a ghost blacksmith named Poppy Hansen, who cheerfully offered any information that they have to them that he had. He explained that something got loose, some sort of beast, and seemed to have killed everyone in the compound, or at least that seems to be the way it was, and then accidentally got locked away in the warehouse section of the compound, well attempting to do something. He has no idea. He doesn't know a lot about the whys or the whats, just that there's a lot of dead people. He can't leave his warehouse or he can't leave his workshop, sadly. So after turning off the alarm, the party decided to start exploring the center, and they started in the biology department. The first object that they had to overcome was a puzzle that everyone online had told me would take at least half an hour, which took them exactly 60 seconds, which they walked right by, and then entered into a massive jungle that was supposed to be traversed by walkways that had been torn down or damaged by something. They made their way down into the jungle, and after taking just a couple steps from the end of the walkway, found a dead body, and upon investigating, were set loose upon by plants, which they dealt with quite handily. And that's actually where we're going to pick up when we get to play some D&D. So if I haven't forgotten anything, let's play some D&D. That's why polar bears are better than pandas.
Why do we always go with a bear theme?
Yeah.
Well, it's just so you'd bear with me while I
think it's making you more unbearable.
Yeah. Well, eventually I'll do a really good one and you'll give me lots of applause.
Let's just bear down and just deal with this for now.
Yep.
I'm
Good
not
deal.
coming back.
Jack, you can't just turn your camera off every time we make you laugh. That's
A millisecond. It was a millisecond of
I was making myself laugh at that. I looked at my own face.
Oh God, there's plants everywhere.
Oh no, plants!
right. Oh man. So I was tweaking my sound stuff and I turned a module off called Fader, and I need to turn it back on before I can continue. If I want background music. Anyway, yes, so you are here. Just to give you some idea of the these plants are all dead, so I'll remove them. You guys are here, and we had to some of us earlier this week were playing around with tokens and testing new modules, so everybody's been moved, but you guys were roughly around in this area.
I was about to say, why am I so far away from the group?
And the X is where the dead body was. Immediately, like 25 feet to the west is the ramp that you guys came down. And as you are standing here looking at the body, we last left off with Magda was bending over the body to take a look and see whether or not there was anything of value on this corpse.
Like, I know you said the person's name, but I don't have my notes in front of me, so if you could repeat that.
I also don't have my notes in front of me for the person's name.
Well, fuck.
So this person is going to end up being inconsequential and never come back up again. It's the name badge. I think I said with the name badge was too hard to read because of the destruction.
No, I think it was Julius. It was Julius Cartwright.
Julius Cartwright. Yeah.
That was one of them for sure.
And then Poppy Hansen.
Poppy Hansen is the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julius Cartwright is the only one I have down for this encounter, though.
That's probably it.
It was. Oh. I went back to the YouTube video.
Yeah, okay.
Scroll through.
Wow. That was fast.
I have closed captions on, so I just went with it. Looked vaguely like Julius Cartwright, so we're gonna go with that.
Okay, Julius Cartwright. Excellent.
So can we should take a look and sorry.
Well, there's two things that I want to look for in particular. First of all, any papers he might have had, even if it's just like scraps. Secondly, does he have like a
Sorry about that. That was me.
The stream is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was me. Sorry. The sound was still messing up, so I hit a thing and then it accidentally reset everybody. So you're looking for scraps of paper, and does he have
the medallion that says how many levels of spells you can cast?
Mm.
The I just want
Excellent.
to know like what, and I don't necessarily want to retcon it, but I would be curious if any of the other bodies had that too. It was like, this is how high of a level of a spellcaster they were.
The other bodies that you investigated did not have a medallion on them.
Okay.
But it's important to note that all the rest of the other bodies looked like they were running from this probably happened. You can guess that this happened during sleeping time because everybody was like completely scatterbrained about how they approached. Nobody would so far has seemed prepared. But as you look at this guy, he also does not have one. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Caden was going to go for the body. Can I join in on that?
You may. Oh, those are some pretty dice.
Dice.
Okay, so 17 and 3. So as you dig through basically, this is a corpse that looks like it's been ripped up quite a bit. It's been dead for several days. But as you go through it, all you find is the broken glass of a vial and also a fully intact another vial of antivenom.
Okay.
While they are doing that, what is Clara, Olivia, and Ag doing?
This is shit.
Yeah.
Complaining. Okay.
I mean, we just got attacked by vines. Kind of expected that this wasn't going to be a super nice place, but super fun.
No.
I want to go over and look at the vines that we just killed. Are there any that are still intact?
Yeah, they're still intact, but they're dead. Olivia, what are you up to?
I'm just gonna walk around and look for anything else that might be moving, or maybe try to figure out what this thing looked like, because we missed it. We didn't see it, so I want to notice.
Right.
I want to be able to notice them later.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Clara, go ahead and make me a. What are you trying to ascertain as you're looking them over, Clara?
I am kind of looking for. We haven't run into a bunch of like very mobile and violent plants, and so just kind of looking for: are these naturally occurring? Have they been? Is this the result of an experiment? Are they magical? Are they cursed?
Give me. So as you're looking them over, give me an Arcana check, and Olivia, go ahead and give me a Nature check or Survival. I'll allow you Nature or Survival.
Thank you.
Nice. Ooh, that's a good roll.
Didn't have to call it.
Nice. Skill.
Okay, so Clara, as you begin to look over these vines, and you just start maybe taking your dagger and slicing down and looking inside of them and playing around with them. These are not naturally occurring vines. They are the result of an experiment. It appears not only are they somewhat sentient in the fact that they sort of knew where to attack. It looks like somebody has merged them with a couple other plants, giving them the ability to actually move. Like as you're sort of looking over, these vines could have walked after you, not very fast, but they could have chased you if they so desired. And as you sort of cut them open inside, the very center of the largest one, you find a very tiny fragment of a black crystal that is sort of cracked and shattered.
Oh. I want to take the crystal.
Okay. With a 28 Arcana check, You successfully perform magical surgery on the vine and take the crystal. Olivia, as you look at the vines as she's doing this, and you're just sort of helping her out and sort of trying to get a feel for them. As Clara is doing this, one of the very aspects of the vine themselves are, as long as they're not moving, they look like any other plant. And so, as you're looking at them, you might have an ability to spot them a little bit sooner than somebody else, but it looks as if they have almost like a camouflage ability to just blend into the plants around them and look like just a regular old plant until they reach out and grab you.
We'll need to keep an eye
one
out.
thing you mentioned we discovered before was that the person died, and then it was wrapped in vines.
Yes. This person was not killed by the vines. The vines were seemingly to feed off of it.
Any help with ascertaining at least like the features of what might have killed him?
Unfortunately, with the give me a medicine check.
Okay.
As Magda's doing this, Kitten looks at her and says, "What is it you're trying to do? You're trying to."
I just want to see what kind of presumably this was killed by the thing that escaped. So I want to see what kind of things it can do, what kind of damage it can deal.
As she says that, he's going to, right, good point. And he's going to kind of stand up and just start kind of keeping an eye on the trees instead.
Okay. So with that medicine check, you don't know exactly how it died, but you do note that its chest is crushed in. That could be from the vines that had a very tight grip, or it could be he has a lot of broken ribs and dislocated jaw. And so you don't know whether or not this is the vines doing this or whether or not they killed it. But if it was the thing that killed it, it seems to have a lot of force damage. Kaden, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Really quick, Matt, did you mess with my sheet at all?
I did not. Is it misbehaving?
Well, I don't recall having any proficiency in medicine, but it seems to think that I do.
13.
Was that one of the free ones we?
No, that was something Caden was going to have. I had other stuff.
Yes, I don't have it.
Just for the sake of.
So I'm going to swap it.
Okay, that's fine. Magda's over here by the body. Claire's over here by where the vines were, as is Olivia. And where's Ag? Ag is over here with you guys, trying to figure out why the vines weren't negatively reacting to fire. So as you guys are sitting here just examining the vines, Olivia, you feel something just brush lightly across your leg. And as you feel that with your high alert from this, you because of the vines, you quickly jump back. But as you do so, this creature reaches out and attempts to this large cockroach-like creature just lunges towards you, but it's not lunging towards you, it's lunging towards your chest. And as it does so, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Okay.
DC 11.
Not 20.
Okay, dexterity.
Come on. You're the most dexterous person here.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're able to just swing yourself out of the way as it does so, and you notice as it's doing that there's several more of these just coming out of the brushwork behind it, and they all seem to be coming right towards you.
Everybody eyes up.
And as you say that, I need everybody to roll initiative.
Ooh,
Or put themselves on the
started right away.
tracker.
Give us an encounter.
Please, DM.
Oh yeah, right.
Give us an encounter.
Well, I was an active encounter on Foundry.
I crave violence.
There you go. Yeah, that seemed really weird to be like, give us an encounter, and then I realized what you meant.
We need an encounter to roll initiative.
Ooh.
Did it roll? Wow. I too busy telling everybody else to get out their weapons that I don't.
Oh wow! All of the rust monsters look like they go before you guys, except for one.
Lovely.
So, as where's my there it is. As you guys hear eyes up, these giant cockroach-like creatures just start pouring out of out from underneath the moss and things. They seem to just hide in the crevices and underneath the actual grass itself, and they just start pouring out, and they are ignoring everybody but Olivia. So the first one will come over and attempt to make an antenna attack on Olivia. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Boy, fuck off.
So as you're ducking back and saying eyes up, another one comes off from the side and just lunges at you, but it doesn't actually attack you. It just bites at your armor, and as its antenna run across your armor, you watch as just the armor just rusts underneath of it and just starts just completely rusting away the armor as if it had been left out in the sun for a while. Your armor's AC just went down by 1. As that creature does that, this other one's going to do the same thing. Give me another dex saving throw.
You know, the original build of this character would have been super, super dexterous. But this one isn't.
As these things just start crawling up you and piling on top of you, you watch as another one just gets you from the other side, and your armor just starts to flake away and to rust. Your armor is literally just rusting out from underneath of you.
I think I'm just so thrown off because this is like my favorite thing. I'm like, the fuck? I'm trying to get my sword out, and these things are getting all over me. I'm like, everybody, what the? Yeah, it's not.
So the third one is within range, so he's gonna go after you as well. Give me another dex saving throw.
Sorry, I didn't add ag.
13.
Thank you.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
And give me a fourth one as the fourth one comes around. So you're just ducking under, and you finally get your sword out, and you start blocking. And as you do so, I will allow you to block with your sword or block with your armor for the last one.
Damn. I was getting out my longsword by accident before, so how would I get out my longsword? Well, can I?
Sure. So as you take your longsword and you just take it and shove it in the mouth of this creature that's lunging on you, the longsword it just chews the sword up, and you pull it back, and the sword is just missing the front half of the sword. This longsword is toast. So your AC has dropped by 2.
2, okay.
Yep. And that brings us to Clara. Clara, as you watch these things, none of them are coming after you. They're all going after Olivia, and you're just watching as they touch her. They're not even biting her. As they're touching her, her armor is just completely rusting out. Looks like there's small holes appearing in it. Like, these things are just hungry for metal. I should have had metal rock music to play for this.
So my problem is they're now all on her, aren't they?
They're swarming her. They're not on her. They're climbing over each other like cockroaches.
Would I be able to cast Shatter on just them?
Just kill me, please. I don't know my armor.
I would like to cast Shatter.
You can get 4 of them.
Yeah. And I will... No, I can get 4 of them. I can't get the other one.
Right.
So I will put that there.
And that is a
con save.
Okay. Oh, great. I forgot I had this HUD thing up, so I can just do that. That's the other one you could have added to yours, the HUD. Save Constitution.
Only one
Oh,
saved.
okay, I got 2 nat ones.
Yeah, only one of them.
Okay.
Saved.
So the all right.
But wait,
so
no. They have
20
disadvantage because they're made out of metal, right? Are they?
No, these are beasts.
Ah, boo! I want them to be made out of metal. But
Sorry.
Do I have to do I get hit? Oh
No,
no,
you
You don't get hit.
Okay.
I can't get all of them, but I can get some of them. It's my only range,
Oh, yeah.
like my area attack right now. Yeah, so they all
And
have
one of them
disadvantage
gets
and they
hit for
all
half.
fail. Oh no, they don't have disadvantage. Right.
9, 18. So minus half. Okay. So you let loose this concussive wound, shatters the area, and you watch as they all take a massive amount of damage. They their creases across their back start cracking and shattering underneath the pressure of the shatter effect. That brings us to Magda.
Okay, I am going to cast Minor Illusion. And I'm going to make a block of metal, this perfect, nice, sizable cube of shiny, delicious-looking metal appear right where I'm pinging and try to distract attention.
All right, you make the most perfect block of metal, and as you do so, you watch as one of the antennas of one of the back ones sort of flicks towards it, and then just completely ignores it, almost like it's not looking with its eyes. It has an instinctual sense of what is metal and what is not.
Okay,
Anything else?
that was my action, so
Oh, okay.
I got nothing else.
Okay, that brings us to the last rust monster.
Another one.
Did not get hurt
It's
as
the
much.
one that didn't roll well.
No. He is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to be able to get to here, so he is... Give me another dexterity check.
But I thought there was a super awesome block of metal over there that
Walk right through it, actually.
12?
Does not eat your armor as you elbow it in the manacles, I guess. Is that what they're called? As you know,
Mandibles?
Mandibles?
mandibles.
Yes.
Ag, what is Ag doing?
Ag will. I'm looking at her sheet.
16 AC. I'm a terrible.
Welcome to my world. If Ag is right up there next to Olivia, I think she will just reach out and try and shocking grasp the whatever one is like currently latched onto Olivia's armor.
Okay. And you reach out and you just zap the one directly in front. And in doing so, it shrivels up and falls over and rolls up on its back, and its legs curl in. It is dead.
Good. Die.
Kicked in.
Seeing these things come suddenly rushing around from behind, Caden brings his arm up to there's nothing in his hand to swing down with his sword, and as his arm comes down, the sword materializes in it, and he comes down as it lights on fire, hitting this one right in front of him, or attempting to hit. Let's hope. I clicked and it didn't do anything. So
I saw a magic item earlier this week that made me think of you, Caden.
Oops, I am on the wrong character. There we go. Let me do that one more time. For some reason, none of my rolls are actually going to the chat. Let me try this again. There we go. None of my macros were working. That's weird.
That's weird.
And this didn't auto roll.
Everybody else's is working. Okay, so are you using Blue Flame Blade?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of making me do it all manually, but if that hits, does 16 hit?
16 does hit. And as you hit, doing 16 or 20 points of damage to this one.
And let me get a 1d8 plus 5 for
Doesn't matter, it's dead.
For the second one?
Oh, for the second one. Sorry, yeah. The first one
so
just as you cut through it.
As he swings down and the fire kind of smashes into it, the other one takes... The fire leaps from one and jumps to the other and does 8 damage to the one beside it.
All right. Okay, the only one not injured. now is injured. As that is all happening, Olivia, what would you like to do?
I am incredibly pissed off. I'm going to my shadow is seeing what it did to my sword. Obviously, I can't hit it with the sword, so my shadow is going to come out and it's going to beat them up.
Okay.
So I believe that is an action to make. Or no, it's a bonus action to manifest echo.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be an action to attack from the echo's position. So roll. It did not roll.
That was the decent current. You have to just attack off of your sheet.
Yeah.
It's weird that
I clicked roll and it did not do that.
Man, everyone's.
The attack works though. Oh, that 19.
Weird that the macro just suddenly broke. That
I
was
didn't
me.
click anything.
That was me.
Okay.
19. That does hit. Which one are you hitting?
The one in front of me, like directly in front of me.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, that there. It didn't add
Alright.
the echo stuff, so
2d6. It doesn't matter. It's enough to kill it.
perfect.
So yeah, as you swing down, this one dies, and at the top of the round, all the rust monsters are going to flee. So Claire, you would get an attack of opportunity if you wanted to take one
Yes, I'm gonna
with a
reach out.
dagger, or I don't know. I don't
Or
know
the
what you're
cantrip?
carrying. Are you a mage slayer? Warfighter?
Warcaster?
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 No, I haven't taken a feat.
Okay, then.
I don't. I could try and smack it with my staff, but I'm gonna do negative damage. You know what? Let's see. Let's try it out. I haven't
Okay.
done that in a while. No.
No,
Oh.
you do not hit, but you also don't heal it. So, Olivia, you would also get an attack of opportunity if you wanted one.
Yeah, can my echo make it? I think it can. Yep.
Yeah, your echo
Yeah.
counts as you.
So I will roll that.
It's just weird that.
Weird. Oh no.
Nope, does not hit. So these ones scurry off, and the other ones are dead. So they scurry off back into the underbrush. And with that, things calm down.
Can I? It's looking at Olivia and her armor and how pissed off she is. Can I cast mending?
As you go to cast mending on the armor, you can, but you note that the armor itself has rusted away. You're not taking two pieces of something broken and putting it back. It literally stripped off parts of the armor, rusting it away.
We can make the armor slightly smaller? Olivia, right? We just can.
Not supposed to, it's watch armor. It's supposed to be my uniform. I can't look like this. If I go out there, they're gonna laugh at me.
It's all pitted and rusted now. It is.
It's terrible. I gotta get that ghost guy to just make me a new thing. I'm just gonna steal it from him. I don't care.
I don't think we need to
That's
steal it. He
true.
offered. Yeah, we just need
needed
to.
that gem.
Can I? It was the crystal. Was that one? The broken crystal.
Yeah, it's broken. He needed a completely working one.
Okay. Well, we know that these crystals are around. If we can bring him one, he'll make you some armor. So I think that
Okay.
was the deal.
Well, let's go.
I'm sorry.
Are you hurt otherwise?
No, I'm fine. It's just my dignity.
All right.
We won't say anything to anyone.
Yeah.
As you guys are sitting there talking to each other, making sure there's nothing more, you hear a voice quietly. Oh. It's coming from the west, up underneath the ramp.
The ramp that we came down.
Yes.
Grab my other
there-
sword.
Which one
Hello?
is this?
The great sword.
Is it safe to come out?
I think safe.
Depends
is
on who you are.
relative, But who are you?
I'm just the horticulturist here.
What's your name?
What's your names?
How are you not dead? Everyone else is dead.
Yeah, literally everyone else we've come across is dead or a ghost.
Been hiding really, really well.
Can I see?
He comes out and you see this halfling wearing a pair of overalls, and on them or in them are different pockets and things, and he has like little trimmers and a couple other things, and he just sort of walks his way out, like keeping his head is just completely on a swivel, watching everywhere. My name's Xavier Grotsworth.
Hmm.
Are you here to save us?
Well, we're here to investigate what happened, and it seems everyone else is dead, Xavier.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty
What
bad.
happened?
Well, there was this creature. It could fly, and was just flying around, and it had a weapon of some sort that emitted like this sound, and it was just shooting at things, and it destroyed that, and so I hid because I was down here working on some plants. Um, but yeah, there's a lot. It killed that guy. I
How,
can't remember his name. It's been a
how
while.
long
Do you have
have
any
you
water? Do you have any food? I haven't had a bite to eat in a couple days.
You're
Uh,
literally in a giant botanist
Yeah, I
lab.
don't know if you are aware, but everything down here is pretty much poisonous or going to try to kill you.
That
How are
seems
you
like a
alive,
you
then?
problem for growing them.
Hold out rations. Come over here, talk with us, and I'll give you food.
He just walks right over. Um,
Hand me the rations. Are
yeah,
you familiar
yes.
with the vegetation and the creatures of this area?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the vegetation, not with the creatures. The creatures are more of uh, are more of Albert's area of expertise.
Is that someone still alive?
I have no idea who's still alive. I have been hiding ever since that creature came in. Dr. Otto went a little bit crazy, and some of us kind of hid down here. I haven't heard anybody scream in a couple days, so I might be the only one left. But I sort of have made this like little map for myself, and I've just been kind of sticking to the areas I know is safe. But I couldn't get up there. He points over at the ramp. That's only a ramp because of the vines. They're protecting it. And so this guy went up there, and he didn't make it. But yeah, I'm gonna unless you're gonna stop me, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna hold on a second
Oh,
for a
you're
moment.
gonna
Yeah.
run away.
Just for a moment. How long have you been down here? What is your best guess? I recognize that there's no daylight and nighttime cycle.
Oh well, there is a daytime nighttime cycle down here, but it appears to be broken because it broke about, I would guess, somewhere between 3 and 5 days ago. And as you're sitting there talking to him, you hear a loud clunk just rattle through the room. He goes, that triggers every half hour or so. I think there's something wrong with the water and the walls or something. Anyway, yeah, I figure we've been down here about 17 days roughly since the
What have you been
accident.
eating?
Rations. I ran out a couple days back.
You
There
said
was
we.
anybody who may be still alive. So
Olivia's just leaning over, just like that guy on the tram. You know, when we first met. You can't trust these little folk. Something's wrong.
Yeah,
Here.
I think
That's-
you should. Disregarding what she said, I do think you should stay with us. We don't know.
oh, I prefer
Whatever.
really much not to stay with you. I
Oh,
prefer to
yeah.
not be here anymore.
Do you
Um,
think the rest of this place is safe?
Exactly.
Very much down here, no, but up there, yeah, I can get out,
No.
go out the.
There were monsters out there too, and we don't know if there will be more.
Things were scooping out people's brains.
Yes.
Well, then I think I'll just go back into hiding then. I'm not a fighter or anything, and I prefer not to get involved. Here. Let me show you. What you might be dealing with down here, because I feel like,
If you have a map or thing, that would be useful too.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I drew this map. So he's gonna he pulls out this map. And it's like, he takes it and he carefully unfolds it because it's on paper and it's just damp with sweat and water. And he just sort of kind of lays it across his leg and tries to make it flat. And then sort of looks around and just sort of sets it. Well, I don't really have a hard thing to put it on, but anyway, here's this map, and he shows you this map, which you guys cannot see because I did not turn on global illumination. Now you can see, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Wow.
This-
That's
a dick.
Is that? Yeah, that's just a penis.
No, but no, that's a creature. It has a large body on the bottom and got a hole in the top of his head, and he eats things.
It's a penis.
That.
Did you make a giant penis here?
Are we?
Is that what we gotta fight?
Wait, does that one just say cock?
Yeah, they're chickens. They're these male chicken birds. They turn you to stone.
Wait, in the center does it say nasty cunts?
The government is so
Cats.
Oh, God.
I have a feeling Xavier has the problems. Xavier's having some issues.
Yeah.
Look, if you don't want my map.
No, I don't think we do, sir.
I think when you get out of here, you have some pent-up emotions to get out.
Yeah, you've been down here for a little too long. It's called forest madness. It happens all the time to some new watch members.
Yeah,
it's
the one
okay.
that
He starts folding the map back up.
That's fine. You can take your penis map and put it elsewhere.
Okay, I'll take you off.
Did you write toads are snacks?
Toads and snakes. I sort of had written. There's different monsters in the different areas. They've split off, and so I've been keeping track of what they are. But like I said, if you seem to. You seem to have a good handle on everything.
Snake monster?
Yeah,
I'm not an artist. I'm a horticulturalist, but you can make fun of me. You don't need it. You got. You know what? Good luck. You don't trust the little folk. I've managed to stay alive down here. I'm gonna go back underneath my my little ramp there, and you guys.
If you're still alive, we'll come get you and take you out safely.
Sure. If you're still alive.
Did you see what we just did there? Like, killed.
Yeah, that's like probably the weakest thing here. Everything else is really super dangerous. That's kind of what I was trying to tell you.
Xavier?
Say that again.
Do you have any other options, Xavier?
No, not at the moment. Supplies don't roll in if we've been down here 17 days. The supplies don't roll in for another 13 days. So at that point,
So you would get back safely.
Oh, very much so. Either way, if you don't get back safely, if you could clear the other ramp or any one of the ladders to get up to the above, that would be great. And because then I could get more rations. So if you could just take care of one of the zones that have the ladders, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, if we do that for you, you just want to give us your dick map, and then we'll be able to use that. If you want us to do the thing for you, you might as well give us something in return.
Sounds like
you said you didn't need the map. Like 3 of you said you don't need the map.
Yeah, it's funny though.
We were just making fun of the fact that you clearly drew some penises on it and wrote cocks. So
fine. Yeah, I can make another map. I'll practice my drawing.
Yeah. There should be a little bit more anatomical detail just next time.
I mean, add some shading at least.
Yeah.
You had like what, 17 days?
Yeah, you could have really worked on some.
Really channel those other fantasies.
Whatever.
What does it say at the top? A foody arm?
It says food. at the top, and then it says forearm. Do you want to know what all this stuff means, or do you want to
Sure.
just kind of guess?
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be assholes about it, you know,
I mean,
then,
yeah.
you know.
All right, explain.
All right.
While he's starting to explain, Caden very quietly leans over to Magda and says, "I hope you're studying this so that you can completely redo his handwriting later on."
I'll be keeping this paper.
Olivia's only half paying attention because she's keeping an eye out for any more of these
Right.
little.
I'm going to
I-
start signing my letters with that shitty penis he drew.
I'm paying attention.
Are you insulted, Matt? Did you try?
Sorry.
It's
So-
just the orientation of it. 'Cause it's sideways, so we're not seeing the full the effect
Look,
that you were going
you know-
for.
You know, I have very thick skin. The map was literally drawn with the idea of somebody who can't draw, which would be me. So when you see those creatures, you'll understand if you
Okay.
see them.
Where are we on this map?
Like, honestly,
What?
it's a delightful map.
It is. It just has so many good Easter eggs that I don't think you intended to be penises, but they are.
It's all right.
So we're there.
We're
Yeah,
number 2.
you're in this section. So I sort of split it out into different sections because it seems like the creatures that are in those sections have like a domain over them. So we're right here. You already fought some of the bugs. The bugs are all over. They could jump at you anytime, but they have like these concentrations here and at the end because of all the metal in the ramp right there. And so the vines sort of were protecting it. And so he sort of looks over and you see one of the injured bugs is sort of like crawling up the bottom of this the ramp itself and basically starting to rust out the ramp. And so now that the vines aren't here protecting it, they'll probably eat that pretty quick. If you wanted to kill the thing that's right,
I
the
go
one,
shoot it with an Eldritch Blast.
and doing so, it skitters off. They're like cockroaches, you know. They don't seem to be here to fight you. They seem to be here to eat metal and take names, and they still have metal. So,
I don't like cockroaches.
So
they're
this-
big cockroaches, though. So
So this whole map here, this is the entire. This is Arbor.
yeah. I don't know quite how big it is,
Boreal.
but each of these seems to have like an area they've taken over and are defending or owning, as it were. So down here at 1, it's swampy down there. So it's like the toads and the snakes are down there. Giant toads, they'll swallow you. Steer clear of them. But there is some edible food down there, some mushrooms and funguses that is not poisonous. Up here at the top at number 3 is some chickens, giant chickens. They look like roosters. But when they bite you, they turn you to stone. So just be aware of them. That's what I was told anyway. I haven't gone up to that area at all. In area number 6 is this giant bull. Don't know what his deal is. I was forbidden from going over in that area since I've worked here. There's apparently fresh water source over there in a field. There's also a ladder that you could get to if that would get you up to the walkways. But yeah, they used to harvest his blood. Apparently, it's quite valuable and useful. But they use tranquilizer darts. But they ran out of those ages ago, 15 so days before this all happened. 15 days before it happened, they ran out. So they haven't done anything with them in a while. In the center area, some cats, giant cats. They seem to like me. So that's sort of, I've been going between here and there. They haven't attacked me.
When you say
but
like you, do you interact with them, or as in you don't bother each other?
we don't bother each other, but I'm really tiny. And so I don't know why. But then again, I did see another dead body over there of somebody who they did attack. So they're not necessarily the friendliest. But they don't see me as a threat, probably because I took care of, like, that was an area I spent a lot of time in, taking care of the trees and stuff. And so they've gotten sort of used to me. Down here, I don't know what these things are called. I only saw them from a distance. They're just absolutely terrifying. They shoot laser beams. And yeah, you should go over there and find out. Up at the top is an area that I also spent a lot of time with. They have some some dinosaurs, and like this is where there's a lot of flowers that'll just kill you if you touch them. So maybe steer clear there. There's really no reason for you to be up there unless you know how to, finesse the flowers. Dr. Otto, who I now call a Dr. Well, we'll just go with Dr. Otto, is down here, has holed up in the cave and stuff like that. Not sure what's going on with her. I was hanging out with one of the other scientists, or rather one of the scientists who worked here, Aiden Langley, and he once he found out Dr. Otto was over there, he went over there, and then there's a lot of screaming, and I haven't heard anything since from over there, so who knows what's going on over there. And then I think there used to be these giant gorillas that were had 4 arms. They used to hang out in here, and I think they're up actually by the food. So yeah, if you could clear that out, if you're not going to help me out, just clear that out so I get some food. And then there's a bunch of offices and living quarters up along the wall here, and I think the fat monkeys are up there. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what you're here for, but that's basically what I've been able to suss out by sort of sneaking around and not letting myself get seen. And that's kind of what I think I'll keep doing. I think with the edible plants I found, I might be able to last a couple more weeks. I know I could last probably 4 weeks without food at all. So the big thing is water. So if you had any to spare, I could make it last for a while.
Those black diamond thingies that she got out of that vine creature, do all of them have those?
No clue what you're talking about. I just take care of the plants. I'm not like a magic. Never seen one of those before. I just trim the plants, cut back the overgrowth and make sure nothing's dying that's not supposed to die.
Is he telling the truth?
Give me an insight check.
I am notoriously good at these.
You are.
It's not bad.
Looks like it. Looks like a guy who's shit on his luck and doesn't want to be here.
Claire's gonna lean over to Olivia and in Elvish say, do we want to let him know about the whole get out through the tunnels thing? He could just make a run for it, and then he's not our responsibility.
It's probably for the best.
We want him knowing that we're here. I'm assuming you're not
Elvish.
Do you know Elvish?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know what languages you do.
I just you and talks to you and
Yeah.
It's like you're just speaking Elvish and answers back. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both surprised.
No more so than Hayden, who's looking at everyone being like, oh, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we want him leaving and alerting others to our presence here.
Yeah. I don't know. He's kind of freaks me out, though. Like, what if we're walking around and he tries to, kill us from behind or something?
Yeah. It's like a psycho.
Yeah.
No, we don't want that. Could he go hang out with the ghost?
I don't want him getting ideas of leaving.
That's fair.
Upstairs, he's gonna find him.
Yeah, if he goes up there, he could open one of those other doors.
That too. Also, the main entrance is just wide.
Yeah. Let's just, he's doing fine. Let's just leave him there, keep an eye out for him.
I guess we'll shout. I can send to him when it's all clear.
Yeah.
So, what you talking about?
We're creating a battle strategy to get through this jungle.
Approximately how far across is this space?
Oh, it's huge. Really, really big. Maybe.
Miles?
No, not that far. 800, 1,000 feet, maybe.
Can I ask a question you're not going to know the answer to, Xavier?
I mean, I can't stop you.
Cool. Why? Just why? They created a very large jungle to create weird cat, gorillas, dinosaur killer flowers.
They didn't create those things here. They didn't create all those. They brought them in.
From where?
From
the warehouse.
the storage warehouse area.
Yeah, that's where they seem to get their shipping stuff. I don't I don't quite know exactly the who's, what's, and where's. It's one of those things where when they get shipments in of creatures, everybody's sent to their barracks except the people involved in the bringing in of the new creature, as it were.
Again, why?
Well, I feel like that's sort of self-explanatory. Doing cutting edge research down here, I get to work on plants I would never see anywhere
It
else.
killed everyone, Xavier.
Well,
It killed
first-
everyone. Possibly
Really?
drove your boss mad. It scooped out some brains upstairs, and there's a ghost working for you.
I am
This is not a good opportunity. Why did you take this job?
The pay is like 30 gold a day.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I'd take it too.
Olivia, you're not helping.
I mean, 30 gold a day.
Yeah, I've only
Alright.
been here a month.
Where's all your
So-
gold?
Well, they haven't paid me because the whole facility is under.
Do you think they're gonna pay you now
You're
with
fucked.
the whole?
Oh, I'm certain they'll pay me. They're gonna want me to keep my mouth shut, so they're probably gonna pay me a lot of money.
Or they'll make you dead.
I think they're all
Oh,
dead.
that's unethical and illegal. They can't just make me dead.
They're
this whole
trapping.
place is unethical and illegal?
Yeah.
Have you taken a look around, Xavier?
Yeah, I think you need to work on your moral compass a little bit, Xavier.
Look, you guys,
And more of the sense of just reading the room.
Yeah, you're working with flowers.
look, you guys
that
are
kill
experts
people.
on everything, aren't you? Drawing, moral compasses.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah,
We've
we're
had a talk
very
about it.
good at what we do.
We are good at our commander roles in this case.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
we thought
We're
about it.
all experts.
Look, if you don't need anything else, can I have that ration now? I am really hungry.
Yeah, Magda will throw him a couple of rations.
He will tear one of them open, and then he stops himself and he pulls out a tiny knife and he cuts off just a quarter of it, and then wraps the rest of it back up and sticks it in a small bag he has, and slowly eats the quarter that he cut off.
Is it like lambus?
Mhm.
Don't worry
Yeah, I
about it. Okay.
Okay.
Not as fun.
I'm gonna go back hiding if that's all right.
Yes,
Sure.
that's fine.
Yeah. I'll send you a message when it's clear.
What?
A message? We're gonna send you a message, and then when it's clear, we'll come back for
How are you gonna do that? You got like some homing pigeon you're gonna.
It's
We're
magic.
incredibly magical
Thank
people.
you.
I minor illusion my voice very loud in his face.
Oh.
Magic.
Look, well, you
Olivia's
know
gonna
what?
just
You guys are real assholes, but I suppose that's what you gotta have in order to clear a place like this out. So can't really complain. I appreciate you saving my life and the food.
Goodbye, Xavier.
Good
Hopefully
luck
we'll-
staying alive.
He goes back underneath the ramp, and you see him like crawl into this like tree stump that's underneath there, and he just sort of settles down and sits down. And after a couple seconds of not moving, it's like you look away and you look back. It's really hard to see the dude.
I love how it's sitting there under a tree stump is better than hanging out with us.
I mean, look. He should just count himself lucky that he didn't die with the rest of the entire facility.
That's true.
As he's walking away, I'm going to just ask him, Xavier, these kind of sections you drew on this map, are there actual physical barriers separating them, or is it just?
Oh no, that's just sort of how I imagine the place. I sort of have barriers for them, like in order to get over to where the toads are, you can see it slowly turning to swamp. The bull is in a field. The cats that are pretty mean. The trees turn into a different kind of tree. So if you know your trees, then you'll be able to quickly see that.
That's fair. Thank you.
All right, let's walk out of earshot of him and then take a nap and try to. All right, do we want to just shoot straight across and try to hit the other ramp and be done with it?
So
or do
the
we wanna
elves, by the way, are ladders.
Yes, yeah. Or do we want to try to go through ladders? Go for the ladders and whatever strange things are along that way.
The bull or the penises?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he explain what those were? I wasn't really listening.
They shot lasers and they're very
Oh,
scary.
I will say, if we go to one of the sides, we run the risk of going through 3 different areas rather than just 2. Because we may encounter some of the nasty cats on the way to either the penises or the bowls.
We might also run into those bugs again if we go straight through.
The bugs again. We also could end up running into the doctor. I think we should stay away from the quadrant that has flowers that will kill you one touch, because I don't think any of us are good enough woodsmen to avoid that.
And the fact that there were people that they were subduing this bull sounds like from a distance, hopefully makes me think we should not go near that.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of the petrification with those birds either.
Wait. Didn't you just say every option is bad?
I mean, every
So
option is
6
bad.
and 3 sound bad to Caden. I like the idea of 5 and 4, or just straight to 4 if we can.
So laser penises is better than...
I think we're gonna have to go with laser penises.
Okay.
We go through.
Well, here's the thing. The bugs lost interest in us.
Yeah.
Oh,
They ate her up and they haven't touched us again. So if we go straight across, all we
If
may
you
have to deal
don't-
with is weird cats and vines.
if you'd like, you could put any metal in my bag.
What the fuck am I gonna do? Punch them? Like,
Do you want the bugs to eat your stuff?
no,
Can you-
but...
Clara hits with her staff sometimes. Can you use that?
Yeah, you can use my staff. I'm not very good at it, as you saw 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, I can use pretty much any weapon, but, like, yeah, sure. It's
We've-
not sharp, though. I like sharp things.
I mean,
An edge down.
Okay.
I don't want to be running everywhere, but we came from someone who was working with metal. We've cleared the path back to what's his name shop. What about walking back up the ramp? I mean, unless there's parts of the ramp that have fallen or broke or anything that's metal up higher that we can get to.
Yeah, as you're looking at the ramp, the bugs have come back out and they are starting to eat the ramp now. There are more than there were. There are another 5 or 6 of them, and they are. The ramp is not like crumbling underneath. They're not just like cha 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 and the whole thing's collapsing. But it is clear that if you leave them be, they are gonna destroy this way out. Or rather, it's that. Actually, I should restate that. It's clear that unless you figure something out to protect this ramp, the vines were doing the job of protecting it, and you just removed the protection. And so,
Well, I mean, we fought a deer before that charged at us. If it's anything like the bull, we could probably do that. I mean, I'm fine with either of the sides. I guess, yeah, I can just use this staff if we want to go back to the bugs.
Okay.
But
are you sharpening the tip?
yeah,
All right, then you can add a spear to your sheet.
cool.
I would assume. I mean, bugs and vines on the other side. We might have to assume that the ramp on the other side's already been destroyed as well. So perhaps the ladders are the better route, if they're wooden.
Yeah.
This is possible. I suspect they're also metal, but they may be still protected in some way. I don't know.
Maybe the laser penises killed all the bugs.
That could be. The bugs don't seem to be in that area.
Yeah. So, bull
So,
or
quadrant
lasers.
4, I guess? Or section 4?
Section 4. Let's try to head directly that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catty corner.
Okay. You guys set off, making your way through the jungle. There's not a whole lot of paths through the jungle itself, but go ahead and pull your tokens out and put your marching order just on this, so that way I know who's in front. There's enough space you can go 2 by 2 if you wanted.
2 by 2. Okay.
Which way are we walking?
Hold on.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I clicked a thing.
I'm going to
making a
keep
circle.
an eye with my bar dark vision for anything following us.
Okay. So you keep an eye out on your back. Looks like Caden has your front, and Claire in the center, as you sort of have this diamond shape as you move through the jungle, making your way through. It's slow walking and slow going, and even though this whole place is probably only 1,000 yards long, it is it's still quite difficult to get through, and it takes you a good 20 minutes before you get to an area. Because you're keeping an eye out, go ahead and both of you roll me perception checks.
I was going to say Kafka ahead of us.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth roll for Kafka, and roll me perception checks for the people in the front and the back.
Stealth.
Not great.
13 stealth.
Okay. So let's see.
13 perception.
7 for me.
I would
So
also be
as
looking
you
through his eyes, but that's not for behind us, just for in front of us.
you are looking through his eyes, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Down ahead.
Okay.
I'm doing my threat detection.
Well, I can't let everybody roll for threat detection, so
I'm only looking ahead of us. I literally cannot see anything around us.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have a thing to show you? I guess I don't. So as you look through Kafka's eyes, roll perception for Kafka.
For Kafka, for me.
For you, but it's Kafka's eyes.
Oh, shit.
So 22.
Ooh, much better.
So Hayden and Magda, you don't see a whole lot, but as Clara is holding on to two people as she's sort of making her way through, you feel her grab you and just pull you close as she spots something. And Clara, you spot these serpentine-like creatures with 4 legs on the base of them and a long, very long neck, and they are basically just sitting there, and you watch as they one of them walks up to a tree and latches on this tubular mouth onto the tree and just seems to be like sucking some juices or something out of the tree, and it seems like they're just sitting here in this this field eating. There's a small clearing here, and they just seem to be sitting here eating. And as you sort of fly around, Kafka flies up a little bit, and you see the walkways, and there's what looks like one of those fire emergency ladders that you could grab onto and pull down about 20 feet up above. And it appears as if there used to be a chain of some sort attached to it, but it's been broken off. So 20 feet above the ground is a ladder that you could pull down and climb up onto the skylight, the skyway. And the ladders themselves appear in good condition. As Kafka sort of flies around, the skyways here do not look like they're destroyed at all.
How many of those creatures are there?
It looks like there are 4 or 5 of them.
4 or 5, or 4 or 5?
Let's see. Looks like there's 5 of them.
5. Okay. I will warn everyone, and as I grab them and be like, snakes with legs, with some weird. It was sucking a tree. That was strange. It's about 5 of them in a clearing. Other than the tree sucking, seems.
Yeah, one other thing that seems strange as well is one of them appears to have its brain exposed.
Oh, one of them's brain is just.
Okay, when you say snakes with legs, are you talking something like a snake we'd find on the ground normally? Or are you talking something larger?
No, what's that?
They're large.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, 10 feet tall.
Yeah, they are snakes, but like times 4 inside. Like big, like it was just gnawing on that tree. So
should we just sneak past them?
I could distract them.
Distraction could be good.
Yeah.
That works.
Well,
Just try to eliminate them from a distance.
That too.
If
We
it's
could.
laser, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
They might also have distance, but
I mean,
we can
I can
certainly
send
try. I'll just blast them or whatever.
my echo can attack from a distance, but
All right. If Clara has something, Clara, if you have something you can do to try to distract or see what they do, why don't we set up in a place that seems at least advantageous for a fight in case we have to?
Okay.
Can we look around for some place that might give us a bit of cover, but that allow us to see, like...
Sure. First, go ahead and if you're going to try to like get some cover and see, I want everyone to roll me stealth rolls.
First, can I ask how much reach they have? Like how high up they seem to be able to reach?
Their necks are about 10 feet tall, so they're large. They're a large creature.
Okay, and does it look like they could climb higher, or is it?
That none of them seem to be climbing in the trees.
Okay.
But snakes can climb trees. So it's
how like snake like they really are.
Yeah. But none of them are in the trees at the moment.
Okay. Because we could climb a tree and then have height advantage.
So Clara, since you're looking through Kafka's eyes, you have disadvantage on that roll, so your 6 is instead of 6. Okay, so Kaden with 17, Olivia with 12. Okay, cool. And Ag?
Oh, right. Running 2 sheets.
Yep.
Stuff.
And so you are back here.
Yeah. How far away from the snakes are we?
As you guys sort of start to sneak up, let's see, fail, success, fail, success, fail. So group wise, you're a little bit louder than you'd like to be. And so as you guys are starting to make your way there, one of the snakes turns its head and sort of looks, the one with the brain exposed, turns its head and just sort of looks in your general direction and does not seem to react in a negative way. But how far away do you want to be? In order to get a good line of sight on them, you're going to have to be, let me go ahead and pull you all to this scene because, so here's your tokens. You are coming from, you went catty corner, so you're coming from up here. But you can put yourself outside of the scene as well if you want.
I can't see any tokens.
Your tokens are here.
I'll refresh.
Yep.
I mean, I can see the box, but I can't see the token. So I think that's
got
just
it.
me.
Okay, let me just delete your token and put it back out there.
I'm already refreshing.
Okay.
I can't see anyone's tokens, by the way, so I think it's a me problem.
Okay, that sounds like a you problem.
who moved me?
I did. I'm putting you in the order that you were when you said what your marching order was.
I was supposed to be standing next to Claire. There.
Jeez.
But you could be farther away than this. There's from here though you can make out 2 of them.
In which direction would the wall be?
It's at the top north.
So up here.
Yep. The ladder itself is, oops, that's not the right tool. Is right there.
Further away from this than wait, the ladder's up there?
Yeah, it's basically right there. At the tip of the arrow.
What was that?
Shouldn't it be on the other side? You're coming from the northwest.
The map's just rotated.
Yeah, the map's rotated for convenience of of north. But yeah, we could. I could rotate this whole thing.
Why did we get all the way around then? Because we would have had
One
to go
second.
like around the creatures.
We'll delete that. And we will grab you guys.
Why are we over there?
Because you would have been coming from down
way.
below. You would have been coming from down here, right?
Well, we cut. Okay, maybe I.
Where are you coming from?
Left or the right of the handwritten map.
Right, you're moving across the handwritten map. You're coming from the right, so yeah, you'd be in the top.
Okay, I thought we were coming from the left. All right, never mind. That all makes sense then.
How I had it before. You understand?
Yeah, I thought we were coming from a different direction than that.
The map was rotated, so we got a little confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just rotated the map so that the wall would be heading up.
Well, I thought we were coming from a different direction entirely because I didn't figure out which side of the map was what.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, you're coming from the right side of the map, working your way left.
Okay.
And then, so you are correct though that the wall should be down.
Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah. So there's our ladder.
All right. That's fine.
Yes. Sorry, confusion. Angles. Reusing the same map for different scenes. So as you see these creatures, they're quite tall and they just are sucking on trees, eating. This one, I'm just gonna mark him with the swirl again. He's not stunned, but this is the one that has its brain exposed and sort of saw you guys and is just watching you.
Okay.
And then goes back to eating. Sort of steps over here.
All right.
All right. What did you have in mind, Clara?
I can try and make a very loud noise further away from us in the opposite direction that we need to move. I can create a web to get in their way. I can send Kafka and peck at its brain.
Should we just like start walking and see if they come at us? Like, that guy's just standing there.
This one turns and actually not that one. Only one of them notices you. This one also turns and notices you and begins to head towards you and stops when he is not that far away. And just his body is like, his neck is swaying their neck. Don't know. Can't tell what gender is. Their neck is just swaying side to side, and it's sort of doing that like a cobra snake, kind of king cobra, and it's on the side of it. It flares out small things. You see some blue circles that sort of just seem to glow underneath its skin as it is sitting there looking at you.
I think we're going to have to make a decision quickly. Fight or run. I don't think we're going to be able to distract it. They've seen us.
I mean, I could make a way loud. Okay, yeah.
How are we going to get the ladder? 20
I
foot
can
up.
Teleport. One of us could.
You
She's
have a way
pointing
to get to
Olivia.
it?
I mean, not directly to it, but like if we can get close enough, I can go up there, or Olivia can pop up there and just grab it, bring it down.
There may be a mechanism to release it. I mean, if it's sitting up there now under its own weight, there may be something you need to do to release it.
Yep.
That may be above.
So,
The
the ladder's hanging down. So presumably, if you teleported to the ladder, you'd still have to climb up some of it before you get to the landing.
No, so it's like a fire escape ladder. I don't know if you're familiar with those on apartments, but those simply by putting weight on it, it'll cause the ladder to descend, and it'll reach the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 foot vertical, like just jump.
Well, it's generally
Magical.
designed to be accessed from above. It looks like there used to be a rope attached to it. So the rope is about 15 feet off the ground. The ladder's 20 feet off the ground. So
if somebody wants to grab like a vine and a rock, we could tie that together and like throw it, pull it down,
I have a spell. I think that can. I have.
or like a whip thing.
Yes. Yeah.
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 All right. What if we just start walking, and then if those things start to
Move that way. Keep an eye on them. I'm afraid that one there is getting ready to attack us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep Eldritch Blast
Sure.
prepared. Just like the moment I see any kind of aggression from either of them, I will fire.
Okay.
I'll keep my sword out.
Okay.
Hey, Egg, maybe if you dance with it, it'll leave us alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
blind it.
That could work too, and I could blind it.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
definitely
go.
a possibility. You might want to blind the one that's closest to the ladder.
I mean, you go ahead and tell me what you want me to do, and I'll take care of it. So you guys move forward?
Yeah.
As you move forward, go ahead and as you move forward, you take just a couple steps, and the one in front of you just screeches, and as it does so, the other ones in the area, except for the one with its brain exposed, turn and look towards you guys as well, or turn and look away from their feeding. Their heads come up and they start looking around, and as you get even just a little bit closer, it lunges forward at you like it's spitting something, and it is very clearly aggressive, which would trigger your held action.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire.
And as you fire, I'm gonna let you fire first before the rest of everything goes off, but I need everyone to go ahead and roll me some of that initiative.
1, there's 2.
Oh, fuck, Ag.
What? I was thinking about blinding them. -15 again. -8.
The other one I figure probably misses. A 12.
I gotta go look at it.
I got a 22 and a 12.
Yes, the 22 hits, the 12 does not. And as the blast comes in, you watch as the blue circles on its I don't know what those are called.
Frills.
Frill
things.
Flash, and arcane shield just goes around it, and your blast just punch right through the shield and hit it. And it returns with its own blast, and it opens up its mouth. Let's see. Let's go ahead and reveal these on the turn order. Well, it doesn't open up its mouth. Let's see. The first one to go in the turn order, the first one to respond is the one whose brain is exposed, and it just sits there and watches you guys, and actually backs up into the trees a little bit, getting a little bit of cover, and just sort of backing up. The next one is the one underneath the ladder, and you guys are 65 feet away, and the echo is the first one out there, so it opens up its mouth, its flaps pop out, it opens its mouth, and it gives this like screech, and as it does so, it spits this at the echo. A second level magic missile leaves its mouth, and all 4 darts just hit the echo at the same time, completely obliterating it.
Sweet.
And it starts making this motion as it begins to move. Just up here. Doesn't move much closer. And that brings us to you, Claire.
Okay. I would like to... Oh, that's gonna not be good for everyone else. Fuck. Sorry, I should have thought a little bit more about this. I am going to, I'm looking at where they all are, because I didn't see behind my sheet where all these things are. Can I cast?
That's what
60 feet away. And the one with his brain exposed isn't doing anything.
It moved before everybody else and put some cover between you and it, but outside of that, it's just kind of chilling.
Okay, then not going to try and do anything there because I don't care. I'm just gonna. How is this? The range of 60 feet. Though it's this one that just.
Yep.
Got, Olivia. I'm
Correct.
gonna ice knife it.
Okay.
Oops, I clicked everything. Roll.
Ooh.
No. Oh, can I re-roll that chronal shift? The attack roll?
Sure.
Because I was in that one. Oh, hold on. Let me click that guy. It's a D20 plus
8.
Yeah, you can just click the ice knife again and just say don't use the spell slot.
Okay. I will do that. Sorry, I gotta.
I'll take the
It might
damage on the
drop
first one, but
I mean, if it's
either
better-
way, whether or not you hit or miss, he still has to make a save, a dexterity save.
Yeah.
25. Yes, that'll hit.
Okay. Rad.
So as you launch the ice
Yeah.
knife, you watch as it just sort of starts to sail over its head, and you reach out and just adjust the time a little bit. This time hitting it directly, and it takes 2 points of cold damage, or what was it? 2 points of cold damage, and then it blows up next to it. DC 14 dex save. Did I make what? I don't know what the save is.
16.
16 is my spell save.
It fails that as well and takes an additional 8 points of damage.
So it
As
takes it takes 2 piercing damage and 8 cold damage.
Yeah, and it takes all of the damage. It seems not to be resistant in any way. As you hit it, and it looks wounded, and it's like lowering itself to the ground, still doing its dance, but trying to make itself smaller. Magda, as you watch that, as it appears to take damage, what are you gonna do?
Is it my turn? Sorry.
It is.
Okay. So. Okay. I think these things are casting spells. I know this isn't great for you guys, but it should provide some protection if you need it. So step out if you need to and come back if you get hurt, and I cast darkness on myself.
Oh,
no.
As you cast darkness, Ag screams.
And then I'm going to cast it on myself. I don't think I'm going to be able to move it now. But, and then I'm going to start walking towards the ladder.
Okay, so the darkness moves with you.
Yes.
Oops.
Let's see.
Don't move your token just yet. Let me do a thing. Because I can attach this to you.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I will move. Yes, my friend.
If I can remember how.
Oh.
Does not move with you yet. Okay, so you're gonna move over that way.
Yeah.
I just have to remember how to attach
You can
this.
just move the
That's tough.
template.
Yeah, I'll just move the template. Go ahead and move yourself.
This attempt makes me collide with a wall.
Here, let me put you inside the wall. There you go. That took 15 feet of movement.
Cool. Well, I think you already moved me to 5, so I have 10 left. All right, that's where I'm ended up.
Okay, the darkness rolls with you.
Yep.
All right, you begin to move that way towards the wall. That brings us to Olivia.
Okay. Bonus action, bring my echo back out. And then, so it's no longer gone. And then I'll go ahead and move forward towards this thing.
Okay.
I can't get...
You also can't move through the wall, can you?
There, I think? No. There. I'm not gonna go into the darkness. I think that was...
Yep, that's 30 feet right there.
Okay. Yeah, the echo will move as well.
15 feet, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
the echo can't move either. And then I got a spear now. Hopefully Clara doesn't need it, but I'm gonna throw it.
Okay.
It's just like that.
All right. Did you add a spear to your sheet, or do you need me to?
I did add a spear
Okay.
to my sheet.
Go ahead and roll that.
That
13. As you throw it, it's making it its head go left and right, and it just misses you. You miss it completely.
Ugh, fuck. Swords are so much better. Yeah, that's my turn. Yeah.
Okay. The one in the back moves forward 20 feet and launches a second level magic missile at you, Claire. At you, Olivia.
Wait, it does a magic missile?
Yes.
Counterspell.
Oh.
If it's a spell, I can counterspell it, can't
90 feet? 95 feet, rather?
What is the range on counterspell?
Is it 120? Or 60?
Oh, it's 60. Sorry, I thought it was this one that was getting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's within my 60.
Let's see.
Then I won't do it. I didn't realize
This
it
is
was
not
so far
doing
back.
this correctly. So, this should be 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1,
You're rolling me.
What the fuck?
1d4 plus 1.
Why am I rolling that?
He's just got you clicked.
Because I'm on your
Oh.
token. So
what?
you take 4, 8, 12 plus 5, 17 points of damage as these missiles just slam into you, just absolutely wrecking you as they slam into you. So with that, that brings us to the one that is injured. That also threw that you threw the spear at, and he is going to do the same attack on you.
Just another magic missile.
Just another magic missile. 16 points of damage just slams into you as these things are just letting loose with these magic missiles. It does not seem to be that they have to. You could actually probably counterspell that one.
Counterspell that one.
Yeah, I can counterspell
60
that one.
feet.
Yeah, I can counterspell that one.
Okay, so as it goes to let it off, Clara just counterspells it. And
Thank
the
you.
missiles just split off and hit trees and bounce as her magic gets in the way. And it doesn't appear that they're burning spell slots. It appears to be an innate ability to cast them, but they're still casting them. And then the third and final one, before everybody else gets to go. Am I missing one on the turn order? No, I'm not. We'll also just shoot one again at you, Olivia. They're just shooting at who's in front, and that's you. 12 points of damage.
Okay.
The dice are so pretty. As they just smash into you. And so these three, all of them are doing this like dance move thing as they're just opening their mouth and shooting out these magic missiles that are and then smacking into you. That brings us to Caden.
Okay, Caden, seeing the darkness and hearing Egg scream behind him, quickly turns around to her and puts his hand right on her shoulder and looks at her dead in the eyes and is like, Egg, the darkness, it's okay. It's Magda's. I know it's scary. I need you to focus right now. Blast these things as hard as you can. And bonus action, I'm going to give her advantage on her next attack rolls. And he's going to turn around, and as he turns around, his hand comes up over his head. The bow starts to appear out of his hand, and he's going to turn and just fire at the one that's been injured already.
Okay. Awesome. Go ahead and make that shot. 21. That hits. As it takes 9 points of piercing damage, you let loose with your bow, and it flies true, and this thing is getting lower and lower to the ground, and its neck is sort of holding it up as it's injured, and it looks like it's going to start backing up. It is not dead, but it is pretty messed up.
And I want to kind of run with Egg towards the darkness, but I recognize I can't do that all on one turn, so I'm going to
Sure.
basically say, like, come with me, and I'm going to start running.
So actually give me an insight check
sure.
on Egg. So as you look at Ag and you say that, you say the darkness is Clara's. She's having a complete mental breakdown. as if she had gone through something traumatic. And as you say that, I am going to give you the option to let you use the help to help her on an attack, or to help her on her wisdom save so she can attack.
I guess the wisdom save then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clara or Jackie, go ahead and roll me a wisdom save for Ag. As it is Ag's turn.
Safe.
Okay. With the assistance of the natural 20, she calms down. I don't like the darkness. I'm not going into the darkness. And she turns and makes a shot, or does whatever Claire does for her, or whatever Jackie does for her.
Having Ag just be terrified of darkness, she is going to how's the distance between these guys? It's only 30 feet. She is going to cast pyrotechnics right in this guy in the back's face. Can she do that? No, it's within 60 feet. And she's not back there, so I gotta get within 60. She can cast it right here, and anything within 10 feet have to do it. So she's gonna, as she's like calming down from this, just throw her hands out and like dazzling fireworks just shoot from her fingertips right at this thing. And it's gonna make a Constitution saving throw, which is gonna get an 11. Oh no. Well,
You called the 11.
I called the 11. I'm fine with it as long as it fails.
Okay.
I don't care. And it's going to be blinded.
It is blinded. All right. Constitution blinded to the end of your next turn.
Ag is going to stick with Caden.
All right. So as you guys can run together then.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have her run with me. We're not going to run into the darkness, but we're going to run kind of partially like behind the darkness, which we'd still be obscured presumably by this void of darkness from some of them anyways.
All right.
Your pyrotechnics looks like it does a big block of smoke too, 20-foot radius. So you
choice. She does
I did fireworks, not
gotcha,
smoke.
gotcha.
I wanted to blind it and not just,
yeah.
I didn't want it to be able to move.
Of course. That brings us back up to the top of the round. The first one to go is the blinded one, who can't do anything. So as it's blinded, it's actually going to stumble back 15 feet as it just tries to get away from the blindness, but it's not. It remains blinded. The next one in line is which one is this? So the first one in line was the one who has its brain exposed. The second one is the blinded one. The brain exposed one, just sort of as the darkness is coming towards him, he just sort of steps out over here. Doesn't do anything, doesn't attack, just seems to be watching you guys. And that brings us to Clara.
I am going to move up to right behind Caden and Ag.
Okay.
And that I'm within 50 feet. I will. What do I want to do to this guy? I don't have a turn. I need to save that. Shit in a basket. I will try and cast. I'm gonna cast sleep on the one in the back.
Okay.
This guy. Actually, I can get a few of them, so I'm gonna cast sleep kind of in here. And let's see. Let's see what it does. It's 24?
So as you cast it on them, it doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna then hop into the darkness.
Okay. You hop into the darkness, and that brings us to Magda.
All right, I'm going.
You've seen everything that's been happening because you can see through this darkness.
Oh yeah. Gonna move forward another 30 feet, and take 2 shots with Eldritch Blast. Probably at the one that's nearest death, so that one.
Okay.
17 and 9.
As you let loose, it shimmers again, and the 17 bounces off the shield that pops up, and the 9 misses, or rather also smacks into the shield. It just deflects both of these magic missiles. It appears to have an innate shield ability, giving it a slightly higher AC.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, that brings us to Olivia.
I hate these things. Going to move.
It's gonna be
But I'm also-
Olivia's
I'm-
catchphrase. I hate these things.
Yeah. I hate everything. Yeah, she's gonna look at that darkness and be like, fuck, and then run into it, because that's the only thing that she can do.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be hit again. And there.
Magda's gonna see her running in and be like, I'm here, and try to reach out a hand to grab and guide her.
Yeah, can I
Easily enough done, especially since you see through this as if it's bright light. So you can grab her as if she was literally running down the sidewalk.
And then the echo is going to follow me, but try to, like, hide behind this tree. That's
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. As it does so, the anything else?
I still have, like, my action or movement or a dash or something. I don't really have anything that can help with the grabbing the thing. I do have a rope. Can I reach? Can I try to throw the rope at the? No, it's too far away. Okay.
Can't see it.
Then I will just take the help action and try to help Magda with anything that she needs on her next
Okay.
turn.
All right. Providing it doesn't require sight, you have provided assistance to her.
I'm here to help.
I'm just like, okay, just try not to fall down.
Just tell me what to do.
Okay. So as you are doing that, your thing has come back out, and so the magic missiles fly again. This time, only one of them flies towards your duplicate. As it disappeared in smoke before, one just flies true and hits it, and as it takes damage, if I recall correctly, it just disappears, right? And so the other two, or the other three, are Caden, you're number 1. Fly towards Caden.
Okay.
Dang, these guys are smart.
As they just let loose. They actually do have an intelligence greater than 8. As they let loose on you, Caden, these magic missiles just swarm towards you, and you bring your sword up to block them, but they just go right around and hit you. As the second one also shoots. Let's see.
Wait, my echo can
Yeah.
move 30 feet, not 15.
Okay.
So, like, it could have been in the darkness and it could have been fine.
Okay. Cool. Caden, you take an additional
Yeah, fuck you, Caden.
3 points of damage.
I just don't need my echo.
Clara, as the one lets loose, another one lets loose on you. And these magic missiles comes towards you.
Okay.
You take 17 points of damage as they just start lighting into you.
Okay.
And then the third and final one is going to go after Caden. So Caden, you take another 17 points of damage as these missiles just start hitting you, and they all fire sort of at once. So there's these 12 missiles just flying through the air, just landing all over, and they don't seem to be wanting to get any closer. Matter of fact, the one that's injured backs up some, and they don't need to. They have distance and range, and they just are lighting into you. The one that is got its brain exposed is swinging around over here and is just sort of staying out of the way. Its flaps aren't out, its mouth isn't open and glowing. It's just sort of ignoring everything that's going on. And that brings us to Caden.
Having taken a crap ton of damage, can you move me one step into the right, please? And Yeah, having taken all of that, he looks to the shadow of Magda's darkness, and he grabs. I'm going to grab onto Egg's hand again and start running.
Okay.
But I will first fire off a arrow. I'll fire off at the one that was near death.
Okay.
Which I think I can. Yeah, I can hit that, no problem.
Uh,
17?
17. You let loose, and it has a shimmering glow around it, and it just skips off of the armor. Doesn't
Okay.
look like it's doing very well, but it just couldn't quite punch through the magical shield.
So as I see it deflect off, I turn back to Egg and I grab onto her hand and I say, Egg, the only way we're getting out of here alive is going into that darkness and climbing up the ladder when it's ready. Close your eyes right now. Hold my hand. You're used to it when you're sleeping. Let's run. And I'm going to use my bonus action to inspire her again with, or give her advantage.
Okay.
But I'm wanting her to. I want her to close her eyes before we enter the darkness, so that she doesn't know when we enter it.
Okay. All right. She's being controlled by Jackie, so we'll see what she does. It is Ag's turn.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely not be happy about it, but I think realizing that these things are quickly going to be able to kill us, she'll do it. But fire off before she agrees. She's gonna fire off a ray of sickness.
Okay.
Off at. Sorry, I gotta look at what I can read.
You have one that's blinded, and you have one that's injured.
Yeah, she actually can't reach any of them with ray of sickness unless she moves up a little
She's
bit.
moving first, so.
Yeah. Can she reach? No, that's 75 feet. I need to not do that. Can I have my ruler back, please? So she can... 20 feet. So she can move up to... Yeah, she'll move up to here. She'll move up here and hit this blind one with a ray of sickness.
Okay, you have advantage on the attack because it's blinded.
Rad.
17. 24 hits. 17 also would have hit. It can't put up shield because it can't see the attack coming in.
Yeah, it will take some poison damage if it fails a Constitution saving throw.
These things are immune to poison damage.
Well, fuck. Fine. And she'll run up there.
Okay.
She'll follow Caden.
All right. And so as we get back to the top of the initiative order, we are going to take our break because we are way beyond it. So
true.
we're going to take a small pause here so we can go to the bathroom, get some water, and we will return in 15 minutes to see how this combat plays out.
Okay.
So we'll see you in 15. Hey, we're back, and it's combat, and it's exciting. So where we left off was at the top of the round. The bright Naga, as they're called, with its brain exposed, was just sort of keeping out of everybody's way, and it continues to do so. The one that was blinded the last round does not like how close he is to everybody, so he's just going to go and back the frick up, and all he can see is Ag. Ag's the closest one, so Ag's gonna get an magic missile.
Can he see if that edge of the darkness extends out that far?
Good point. No. He can see Clara. So Clara's gonna get a magic missile.
No, I'm not. Counterspell.
Okay.
And watching it start glowing again, Claire's just gonna draw runes in the air.
Does Clara have shield?
I do have shield, but it doesn't matter.
Shield? Right, well, shield, by the way, automatically blocks any magic missile.
I mean, I guess.
Just FYI. You can use whatever one you want. So you just make it go away as it seems to glow again on you. Which brings us to you.
Cool. Watching everyone start moving towards the darkness, I am going to... Claire's a little mad. Claire's getting a little pissed at these things. She's gonna summon a pure whip made out of magic just right out of the air and crack it at the this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna Tasha's mind whip it.
Ooh, natural 20.
Yeah, the Naga.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean,
Does it take half damage on a save?
It does take half damage.
Okay,
Or like,
5 is enough to kill it.
Yeah, I just wanted to kill it. I don't care about its save.
5 hit points left.
Yeah, I don't care about its save.
It resists in the most perfect way it possibly can. And feeling
And
very
I
pleased with
don't
itself.
care. I just rip through with the skin of its neck. And I'm gonna go off to the dark. I'm gonna run off to the darkness. I can't.
Okay.
I can't move.
I have to get you past that line. It's treating it like it's a wall. I didn't put any walls there, but it's treating it like it is.
Okay.
Why is there two of them dead?
Those two must have been. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. This one's the dead one.
I'd love two of them, but
So as Claire enters the darkness, that brings us to Magda.
Yeah. Olivia gets
Okay.
a grab on Claire and she's like, okay.
Magda kind of looks at Caden and looks at the ladder and hesitates for a moment and then goes for the ladder. She's gonna move the rest of the way to get up to the ladder.
Okay.
And then she's gonna stand at the bottom and try to think about the magic she needs, and the snake on her arm kind of coils and she reaches out and she casts Thorn Whip and the snake just extends out to grab the ladder.
All right. Roll me an attack on the ladder. It's a DC 5, just to see whether or not you hit it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She got it.
He just gets around the entire thing. Beautiful. You pull, you give it a tug, and the ladder drops down to you.
Okay. And then, for my bonus action, I'm gonna hastily pull out the last healing word scroll I got from Herd. I'm gonna try to cast it, but I can't quite focus on it enough to get the spell out, and I try to reach for some magic, any magic, and cast it on Caden. And Caden, you notice another snake appear, attached to appear on the back of your hand, and it stings you briefly, and then you're healed for 2d6.
Well, la-di-da. What do I see from Magda? Does Magda... Because I can see through the darkness to you. I'm probably the only one who can see you actually do this. What do I see Magda do in this moment? Do I notice that it's you?
Concentrating, and she thinks, oh, I finally cast two.
Oh. One for each fang.
Describe it anyways. I want to hear it.
She thinks she's cast it finally, and she looks down and sees the spell is the scroll is not spent, and kind of just fuck, and then stands there.
So
and she's gonna What?
seeing Magda with like this whip and this pulled down with one hand and the other hand just like casting it towards him and feeling it like he's so confused because like the thorns from your whip is like almost like feels like that was a snake. What the hell was that? But feels that like slight surge, like this extra energy pump into him.
But she's going to stand there, and anyone who enters the darkness, she's going to grab and lead towards the ladder so they can start climbing up.
Okay. As all that's happening, Olivia, the darkness moves away. You can see what's around you. What would you like to do?
Okay. So for my movement, I can get all the way there, but for my action, I'm just gonna yeet Clara over my shoulder, and we're gonna go in there because she looks like she's hurt, and these things are shooting at us, and I don't want to get her to get hit. So as long as you're cool with it, you're coming with me. If that doesn't work out, I'll just squat and wait for like her to jump on, and then.
Okay.
As soon as she's reaching for me, I grab her arm, like arm over her shoulders and go.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay.
And so we both run into the darkness.
All right.
To Magna. And then I'm actually gonna leave the echo out here as a decoy, so it's gonna move right out here. And I don't know, do some cartwheels. Olivia doing cartwheels, I guess. It looks like it.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So this Haga is going to make its attack on the on that, doing cartwheels, destroying it again. They don't understand why it keeps coming back, but they're gonna keep trying to destroy it. And then Caden, you're 2.
I am indeed.
So you take another 3 missiles.
Oof. Sorry, I can only carry 1. Yeah.
You know what? Thank God for that 2 hit points, because that's all I have left.
Oh shit!
This Naga is gonna just swing up to just change position, and go after you, Caden. Which it hits it up against your fighting spirit as you are just drained from all of this. Your energy is just drained as these missiles are hitting you, and you watch as bruises are starting to form where you can see them. And you realize that you are begun to slow down, and if you take any more damage, it's going to start leaving real marks. And that brings us to you and Ag.
As a final, what do I got here? I've got 30 feet to get to beside Magda. As a final, an attempt to influence Egg, I am going to grab onto her hand and I'm going to say, we're getting up that ladder right now. Let's go. And I'm going to cast... invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this to Egg. I'm like, I'm going invisible. I can't take any more hits. And I'm going to grab her hand and go invisible, and I'm going to run.
Okay. And Ag follows, I'm assuming.
Ag is going to shoot off one last spell as she's running towards the darkness. And she's just going to cast a fireball.
Okay.
She can, and she's going to get 2 of them.
All of them. No, she can get all of them. No, wait. I thought fireball was 20 feet radius.
It's a 20-foot radius, so I can get those 2. I can't get all 3 of these guys.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, so you get
all the
those
way
2.
down here.
Yeah, I thought I did my math wrong. I thought 20-foot radius, 40-foot wide would grab these both, but I'm looking at the angle. All right, yes. So you shoot the fireball off, which makes a dexterity save. 21 and and 14. So I do believe one of them fails and one of them succeeds. Meet or beat, or they both succeed. I can't remember. Does saves have to pass it, or
Meet or beat?
Meet it. Yeah.
okay? So they both take half damage, and as you do so, they rear back from the fire. They did not like that at all. As Ag joins.
Well, they can suck it. We don't care what they like.
Nobody ever asked what we like.
If they stop trying to kill us, sure, cool. But yeah, no, she's gonna follow Caden.
Okay, so so Caden and Ag end up. Everyone is in the darkness. That brings us to the top of the round. As everyone's in the darkness, the Nagas have nothing to attack. They can't see you, and since they can't see you, they can't hit you. And the ones that got burned, well, this one is the first to go, and he's just gonna. They are just gonna back up. And then the other one that's got the brain exposed is going to come down here and just sort of watch the blackness. But outside of that, nothing happens. They can't see you. So Clara, Magda, and Olivia, I'll let you guys basically go at the same time because you're not taking any attacks at the moment because you're in the darkness. So if you want to do something collaborative, you can.
I would like to... The ladder... How far up does the ladder go?
I'm trying to think how high I said this was before. 30 feet.
Okay, I have a range of 120 feet on this. So, like, in the darkness, Clara will... I have to see it, don't I?
You can just climb up.
Yeah, I'm gonna start climbing the ladder and then point upwards at the spot where the landing is and cast Fog Cloud.
Okay.
And so she'll just start climbing, and as soon as her head comes up above the darkness, she'll swirl her hand, and like this like frosty cloud just shoots out and obscures the landing there.
Done and done. The fog cloud just creates expands beyond, and basically as you're coming out of the darkness, you're coming into the fog cloud, keeping it heavily obscured, which means you still can't be seen. That brings us to Magda and Olivia.
Well, Magda can't see Caden right now.
He's being vocal though, as he ran in, like he was like, "We're coming!" Like he was talking to Egg and everything. So
he's here, but she can't see him, which is important for what she's going to do. Who looks worse off of Olivia and Clara?
If you heal Olivia, she'll be mad. Heal Clara.
Magda's gonna try to pull on the same effects that she did before and grant Clara another 2d6 of healing.
Yeah, because Olivia's just gonna like shake it off. She's gonna second wind.
That's fine.
I appreciate anything. Do I also get bit?
Oh wow, I rolled a 1 on my healing too, so everyone is bad today. Okay.
Does Clara also get bit?
Yes, she does. She sees another snake tattoo appear on her arm. It circles around, pauses for a moment, and bites, and then she feels the healing.
Ow! Magda, what the? We'll talk about this later.
Oh, what the fuck is happening? Get up the ladder.
Olivia will give boosts to anyone that needs them to try to get people a little bit faster up, and then she'll take the ladder last.
All right. So for the purposes of this, you have the darkness, you have the fog cloud. You guys get each other up the ladders. I just need a wisdom saving throw from Ag.
Ag has her eyes closed.
Can Caden continue to help her?
Also,
Ag has her eyes closed, so it's okay. So you get up the ladder, and so you are up at the landing. And you can see the way this works is once all the weight is off the ladder just slowly begins to come back up. So it's not going to stay down. It's
Can we just push it, like hold it down?
You could if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm
you
just
could
gonna
lock
hold
it in place. Yeah, you could lock it in place from where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
guiding people to the ladder.
So as you're all up on the landing, you're leaving the ladder down. Is that?
So we're leaving it down for Ag and Caden.
No. I mean everyone's up now. Everyone's up on the landing, so you can leave it down or you can leave it up. Okay,
Up.
so yeah. So you get up on this landing and you're up on a skywalk, and as you sort of make your way through the fog cloud and look, none of the skyway is damaged. And you sort of look over the bottom and sort of look down, and the creatures that you're fighting don't appear to be too concerned about you up here. It appears that they're quite territorial, but outside of that, you are above them now. And so as you look around, you're on a walkway that you sort of look left and right, and there's a couple doors along this walkway. Two of them are closed, and three of them are open. And you can hear coming from one of the open doors at the very end some sort of noises. Frankly, it sounds like monkeys coming out of the doorway at the end. But there's a couple other doors that are open. I might have miscounted on how many doors there are. There are 1, 2, 3. There's 4 doors, of which 2 are open, 2 are closed, and of one of the open ones, you hear monkeys. But it looks like the walkway is intact, and you have, what would you guys like to do?
Caden is holding on to his couple spots on him, and he's like, "We need to find a place to rest."
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Not with monkeys.
No. Any of these doors can we try opening?
So these doors are labeled B, C, D, and E.
Which one of the monkeys?
The monkeys are coming from B.
And are any of the other ones open?
B is open and E is open, and then C and D are closed. C and D.
Can I listen on C and D?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Check if there's any labels over the doors.
6 is where E. C is 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the doors that you're in front of now, you see C has the label Albert McKinney. And D has the label Serena Mead. And as you listen at C, you don't hear anything coming from it.
And there's the other
Caden.
open one, right?
E all the way at the end is open.
I'm just gonna go over and look at it, but if somebody stops me, it's good too.
What is everyone else doing while she's listening at doors?
Mag just keeping an eye over the railing with an Eldritch Blast prepared just in case the creatures start looking hostile again. Just keeping an eye out to...
Can we see Caden yet?
Yeah.
No.
Caden's invisible. Completely has forgotten. And he was when Olivia was checking out that first door, he's gone over and he was leaning against the wall, kind of looking, and then Olivia just walks off and he's like, "Okay."
Caden?
He's just kind of leaning and he's like, "Yeah, I'm right here." Oh.
No, yeah, you gotta drop
Right.
that.
I'm at this door. What would you say C was?
Albert McKinney.
Albert. I'm at
yes.
Albert's door. I'm gonna just check the knob to see is it locked or not.
It is locked.
Okay, this door is locked. While Olivia checks that other area, I think she's going to E. I'm gonna just try this door, and I'm gonna try to unlock it.
Okay, give me a lockpick check. As you look in E, the name on the door says Jane Doe. And as you look in E, it looks like there's an office with a couple desks, of which only a few are actually look like... of the 5 desks in the room, only 2 look like they actually had people working at them or stuff on them. And then you can see a hallway that goes into the back into what appears to be a living quarters in the back.
This one looks comfortable.
And go ahead and roll me that thieves tools check.
Yeah, sorry. I was just pulling it up.
Yeah, you bend down and open this door. As you open it, this particular room has hanging plants all over it, with a mural painted on the side on the wall of the ocean, just painted all along the wall. It's about 20 feet deep, and this one has 3 desks in it, and it also has a hallway going back to another living area. And this one only has 1 desk that was occupied.
Okay. I'm gonna, as I open the door, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna check this, and I'd like to try to sneak in as far as I can to see while I'm invisible and see if there's anything else in here. Like I'm looking for threats.
Yes.
Threats.
And what is Magda and Clara doing at this point?
I'm still just kind of keeping an eye out for threats. I think Magda is now kind of keeping an eye towards the monkey sounds and making sure none of them are hearing what we're doing and coming over to investigate.
Okay. So far, you guys have kept yourself relatively quiet, and so you haven't seemed to have attracted their attention. It's 19 stealth. You slip in, and you look through. This place is not occupied. There's nothing in here.
Okay.
In the back room, though, there's a small kitchen unit. There's 3 beds, of which only 1 has blankets and things. The blankets have been thrown off the bed. There's a small kitchen unit with, it looks like there was food cooking, and somebody turned off the gas to it, and it was just left there. Some sort of oatmeal or porridge. You can't tell. It's got fuzz growing all over it. And a chest for clothing and things like that. Some books, some reading books. It looks like this is somebody's living space, but they're not here.
Okay. Caden will come right back to the door frame, and he'll lean out and he'll drop the invisibility, and he'll be like, "This area is clear. Why don't we get in here for a bit? It's looks like it was someone's living quarters."
In one of these areas and rest.
All right.
So everyone goes in.
Yep. I mean, I kind of do a little bit of a glance around that room E, but I'm not going to go too far into it.
It's almost the same thing, except there's 2 beds there that look like they were somebody living in them. Not one. 2 sets of chests for clothes and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll close the door and then
Okay.
come out over to them.
I'm assuming you shut the door of D behind you. Or sorry, C. You're in C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop fog cloud as soon as we start closing the door.
Okay.
And lock it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there some way to lock it without a key?
Yeah, it's just a regular lock on the back.
Okay.
So let me make you an owner on this. There you go. So as you sort of get a bearing, as you look around, the room itself, comfortable. It's really warm in here, like almost oppressively warm, like almost 80 degrees. But you have 3 beds. There's clothes and things in the room. Looks like somebody's work desk. On the shelf, there's a shelf with a couple items on it. Yeah, you appear to have found somewhere comfortable to sit down. As soon as the door shuts, though, Ag turns to you, Magda, and goes, "Don't cast darkness on me again."
All right, but I dare say I saved all of our lives with it.
Yeah.
She sure did. We would have been dead without
I'll
it.
do my best not to cast it directly on you again, but I hold no promises against not casting it at all.
Without it, we would have died, Ag. So.
Yep.
Terps. Can't see anything.
Why
That's
did you
kind of
decide to come down to a mine where it would be very dark?
It's not
This was
magically
one of the
dark.
reasons. All right.
Because there's treasure, so far of which we have found none.
Yeah, we've literally only found pain and things that want to kill us.
Yeah. Yes.
Olivia's gonna get out her med kit and start trying to like bandage some people up.
Okay.
Can I look around for the source of the heat?
Sure. Olivia, while you're doing that, you've gotten quite skilled at this. Are you going to use your ability to heal people, or are you just
There's nothing on my sheet.
You're correct. This was something we had talked about, but hadn't come to a conclusion on, where you would have 1d4 healing per defeat.
Okay.
We weren't sure whether or not you're taking it or not, so I'm just checking if you're doing that or not.
Well, I'd like to. Yeah, if I can heal people, I'd definitely like to.
Okay.
I can try to fix up some of Caden's because he looks pretty bad, and then I'll move over to Clara.
Oh, thanks.
So it's going to be 1d4 plus 4 healing.
Okay. Can I do both?
And you have to use a charge of your healer's kit.
And how many does it have?
The healer's kit has 10 charges. It should be
okay.
That should be on your sheet. It is not. Let me add it.
Thank you. Okay.
Caden's
1d4
gonna.
plus.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can you just repeat how much it is? 1d4 plus
1d4 plus 4.
Okay. Yeah. Now go ahead. Sorry, Caden.
As you come over to Caden to start like offering to do that, Caden, yeah, thanks, starts like pulling off some of his shirt and stuff to get to just to skin, kind of uncover. And so he takes off his shirt, and there's definitely all these bruises and welts. So some of them have hit hard enough that they've drawn blood and stuff. So he starts like lifting his arm for you to wrap bandages or whatever it is for your healing stuff. And he keeps grabbing onto his hands. And as he lifts up one of his arm, he turns to Magda, and I don't know if I was supposed to, but I grabbed this, and in his hand, what you see is the snake that appeared on the back of his left hand when you healed him. He grabbed it instantly, and you can see this tattoo of a snake permanently grafted on his hand, wrapped around his right hand, which seems to like be tied into this dagger tattoo on the inside of his arm. What was that?
Clara checks her hand.
Olivia just
There's no lingering tattoo on Clara's hand.
Good.
Olivia just sighs and shakes her head and moves on to healing Clara.
I walked away. I also like looking around for why it's so hot.
She'll just go look around with Clara and then let those two talk.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't know. Did something happen? I didn't really see.
You looked like you were casting something, and a snake appeared on my hand and bit me. It hurt, but in that way that, it hurts and it feels good. But I instinctively grabbed it. And now it's here.
Well, I was trying to heal you with this, and this still seems to be like intact. So, no.
Thank you. I don't know what to do with this. I'm not complaining, but
That is weird. I don't know why it stayed. I don't know why it appeared at all.
The magic's weird.
My magic's fucking weird. And I can't think about this right now. I'm going to start going through the space, like opening the chest, rifling through drawers. I want to find any papers, personal items, etc. that I can.
Okay. First, we'll start with Clara. Clara, as you begin to look around, there are pipes that are run through this area, and as you look at the pipes, the pipes themselves are basically set like a radiator's pipes. They're crisscrossed across the ceiling, and as you sort of are looking for the source's heat, your hand extends up towards the pipes, and they are just radiating heat. It seems that that's the way that's the heating system, and it's cranked all the way up.
Okay.
But and as you guys are sitting there, you hear this loud clang, and it just reverberates all the way down those pipes.
How far away does that clang sound?
It's you can't quite make out the distance and the direction of it because it's somewhere in a wall. It's not necessarily.
Where does it originate from? Like, where is the sound traveling?
So you're hearing it through the piping, not through.
Yeah, but I'll be able to tell. Like, is it going out of the room one way? Is it going?
Got it. Go ahead and yeah. So it's originating from behind the wall, coming into the room from outside. So based upon the way this is set up, it's not originating from inside the botany section. It's originating from outside the botany section, somewhere else in the facility.
Okay.
Hey. Olivia will walk up to Clara with her kit. You want to sit down or busy?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll sit and like start unwrapping her cloak to get at some of where the bruises and lacerations are from getting hit.
Yeah, do some cleaning, get rid of some of that blood, and then wrap her back up and roll another heal. That's a full healing. 8 points.
Ooh.
So while you're doing that, Magda, and I'm assuming Caden is joining you, Ag has sat down in a chair and is just like exhausted. Still.
Ag is fine.
Ag isn't hurt. She's just mentally exhausted. So Magda, as you and Caden start to go through the room, there is a locked box on top of the shelf of one of these shelves. There's a locked box. And let's see. There are other things in the room, papers and things that are being worked on. As you sort of scan through them, most of these are botany related. Specifically, this room, the man who worked in this room is talking about the water. He's researching the amount of water that'll sit in a plant and increasing it. And you come across some research, a journal that doesn't really have a whole lot relevant, but you find a section in it that talks. He says, "Who knew that a little of a cursed tea would react so badly with cursed people? Guess it's like the virus, but it turns out that the tea made from the leaves of the big two tree, if cursed, makes for a great way to see if one else is cursed. Probably going to get some sort of prize. We're not producing the tea here, though, so I wonder who is." But it is
not going to spend a lot of time reading any of it. She's just going to get a sense of, like, does this list a project? Is it about research? What it is? And then she's just going to grab as much of it as she can and kind of stack it up and take it.
All right. So you find a non-insignificant amount of botany, plant-related research. And the box, I'm assuming you're giving to Caden since it's locked.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's locked here.
Okay.
Did that say something about tea? Is that that tea they had us drink?
Sounds like it. We should go through these later.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've got this. I'm keeping it.
Absent-mindedly while talking to you, not looking at the box, just kind of by memory, just kind of like, oh yeah, I recognize this lock, and he's just going at it while he's.
Like the lock-picking lawyer, it took you 2 seconds.
While he's picking that, and if she's gone through all the drawers, and taken kind of just all the papers that she can from it, she's going to go through the chest and just go through personal items and see. Well, if there's anything interesting, and if she can maybe get a grasp of what kind of person this was.
Okay. There's not as you go through the chests, you see that there's a couple things with this person's name and you guys are in room C, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Serena.
Yeah. So Albert McKinney. There's AM.
Sorry.
Stuff. And as you go through, you see a picture, a sketch. It looks like it was made by a 3-year-old or 4-year-old or something like this. Some letters from a spouse somewhere that you just sort of grab as part of your bundles of things. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot of personal things here. There's a lot of books about botany, plants, and things like that.
Just start like handing books to Clara, or just setting them by her.
You would just start taking, like, looking at the title, flipping through, shoving them in the bag. And if they don't look useful, it's just tossing them.
There's a lot of basic botany books, like regular old botany, but there are a couple very old books that have to do with particularly the curse, and you flip them open, there's lots of notations, and so those ones can go in the bag. But the regular old, this is the different kinds of trees and the Latin names for that, those books, do you keep those? You throw those away as well? Yeah, you're good. Caden, you open this box and you see a round bubble, effectively, that has it's sort of blank on the back and clear on the front, and it looks like a fishbowl, but it has canvas or some sort of plastic that hangs down off of the bottom of it, and around the base of it seems to be some sort of arcane writing.
Okay. So it's just sitting inside this box. Is that the only thing in there?
Yep, that's the only thing in there.
Before he reaches down and touches it, he's going to look at Magda and be like, I know better than to touch things like this now.
You don't can you do
What
the
is
magic
it?
hand thing? I don't know. It's in a box, locked box. Do you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll look at it.
Don't kill
touch
each
it.
other. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, it's good.
Take a nap.
I
We can finish
am.
short rest.
Sure.
Can I read the arcane writing around the trying to?
It's not like a writing language. This is an
like what the runes
item.
are.
Yeah, the runes have to do with air and water.
Okay. Could I try and do an arcana check to figure out if I can piece together what those might do together? When combined?
Sure.
Air and water.
23.
Looking over this, you've heard of something like this? It allows people to breathe for a length of time underwater.
Oh. Okay.
How big is it?
Big enough that it'll slip over your head.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
It's like a helmet. I guess if you needed to go underwater, you could use it, and it would be like a bubble.
A first loot of the journey.
Is Egg, out of curiosity, Caden sneaks a look at Egg. Is she distracted right now?
Yeah, she's still distracted. She's playing with fire in her hand, creating different objects out of the fire. A bed, chair.
We don't. I guess I'll put it in my pocket unless someone wants to hold on to it.
Go in the bag.
Sure.
You've also been watching Clara just stuff a bunch of things into this bag, and it has not been looking like it's getting any bigger.
Sure, if it'll fit.
Yeah, and she takes the box, closes it, sticks it in, and it doesn't look
It's
like
no
it's changed
problem.
shape at all.
Have we not seen this bag before? Like, have we not seen you actually have it out
This is
before?
the bag of holding that she grabbed, but nobody bothered to.
Wizard. This
Where
is
was
the
it
bag
from?
the wizard has.
Oh yeah, from
The
the
died.
wizard that died.
No one's
Gotcha.
asking me about it.
Well, that would
Shove
probably be
stuff
the
in
first
there.
time we've seen a whole bunch of stuff shoved in. So,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's incredible.
It's
That's
just got
gonna
a
make.
bunch of books right now, so yeah, I could probably fit a few things. I could probably
How much more could it hold?
fit in it myself. Just gonna
Don't. I wouldn't.
for science. Just gonna try and get in the bag up to her neck.
Clara, why don't we mess with
Does
this?
that mean that you're basically like the bag's on the floor, so it's just your head sticking out of the floor?
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
start lowering myself down into the bag until it's just my head sticking up.
Olivia wakes up
Give
right when this
me-
happens.
He like cracks open an
Give
eye.
me a strength saving throw.
No.
Look, this is where I die.
Clara's severed head.
Hi guys, I right in the bag.
Claire, as you are goofing around,
That's fine.
you go down a little bit farther. Your head pops in, and you look around, and you are inside of this bag. No, Olivia's out. She's
I'm still
just out.
sleeping.
You look inside of this bag, and there's shelves, but they just seem to hang on nothing. And there are books and other things hanging around in here. And there's a door. There's a door right in the middle of this bag. And you can see the opening of the bag up above. And you know, does anyone stick their hand down?
Magda's
Well-
immediately reaching her hand in to try to grab Clara.
Yeah, you can see a hand reaching around. You can just reach out and grab it, and they pull you out.
How far away is the door?
Right in front of you. Everything is right in front of you.
Can I
If you
just-
look around.
I just want to reach out and open it as I'm starting to reach up for Magda's hand. I just want to open it. I'm not gonna go through it yet, but I'm gonna.
You open the door, and you see behind the door a familiar sight. Well, sort of familiar. You haven't seen this place exactly. But you recall back when you first got a certain book, that there's a door and and you see behind it what looks like more rows of books, a library.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna close the door again. Note that and reach up and grab Magda's hand.
Okay.
Try to pull you out.
And just
Easily enough.
well,
You didn't have any trouble breathing either. You had 10 minutes of air in there, so.
I know, but I generally know how a bag of holding works, so I was trying to hold my breath just in case.
What
It was very informative.
informative? How?
Have you ever seen the inside of a bag of holding? It's kind of
I've
fascinating.
never seen the
Magic items
outside
never
of one.
worked for us before, Clara.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to? You have magic now.
No! You're in the middle of a fucking research lab, Clara.
Okay, now
You're
Olivia
not
wakes
poking
up.
out either.
Keep
Your
going.
head is just poking out now. You're not in the bag.
I'm just pulling her out.
Okay.
That somehow turned my Alexa on. I'm sorry.
Magda's fury reached your Alexa.
Yeah, it did. Because she was like, sorry, I didn't know. But by the way, and I'm like, stop it.
He
What do you
quickly
mean
wakes you up,
informative?
Olivia, and you watch as to you it looks like Claire's just taking her feet out of this bag that's on the floor, and Olivia or Magda's talking quite loudly.
The hell is going on?
Clara climbed inside her bag and disappeared.
I go to
Yeah.
sleep for a 20-minute power nap, and you go into an alternate dimension.
Fine, it's a bag. I'm fine. There was
Let's
some
do
cool
these
stuff in there.
experiments when we're not in the middle of a research center where literally everything wants us dead.
Okay, so you don't want to know what was in the bag?
I
I
do want to
do.
know, but couldn't this
You
be a
can
late?
look. Actually, that would be very helpful. Could you just pop a look in the bag and tell me what you see?
Hold it
Like,
for
eh.
me.
Oh yeah, like you don't need to go in the bag. You can just
Just sure.
Magda will
put your head in.
look in the bag.
Just putting your head in, it looks like a bag.
Oh. Boo.
It's just a bag. I'm not saying I don't believe you. However,
Maybe you have to be fully entrenched in the bag.
I think
What
there's a time
did
and
you
place. And this
see?
is neither the
Okay.
time nor the place.
Okay. All right.
What did you see?
Well, it was a very fascinating extra-dimensional space with the books on the shelves and things, and the box was sitting on the ground, so it's safe, it's fine. And a door.
Every
Are there
time
the
we've
door.
gone in,
doors in these bags?
doors have always been bad for us.
I think it's supposed
We
to.
don't have a great track record with doors.
No.
You don't have a great track record with doors. No, it's just there was a door in there. I'm sure it just goes to storage. It's fine, and it wasn't familiar at all.
I'm never gonna sleep again.
Insight
Gift of
check?
gab.
Sure.
No, I gift of gab.
Wait, you can't do that to everybody. You can't do that to everybody.
If
can
you're
you?
within 5 feet of me, I can't.
Well, am I? I was on the couch.
I'm gonna allow it, but it still has a saving throw. Guess the guy has a saving throw.
I don't
Of?
agree with that.
Let me roll it. Oh, gift of gab isn't in here. Because
Oh yeah, we never added it.
Gift of gab. Gift of
You
gab.
have to make a.
It's a
Charisma.
no.
Okay, good.
I think it's a wisdom.
Do we all have to make it?
Oh, there's no saving throw. It's just.
No,
there's a saving throw.
Yeah, there's a saving throw. There's absolutely a saving throw. One reaction. It doesn't if I successfully cast it, but it doesn't tell me what the success is.
Yeah. Let me go and check Claire copy for it because.
It's in Claire copy.
Yeah.
You use the fun new Foundry feature of importing your D&D Beyond sheet directly into Foundry.
DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom, dudes.
Olivia, you can have advantage on it.
I already got it.
Olivia got it anyway. Olivia got a 16. Caden doesn't.
Oh, I cannot. This is good.
Ah,
Oh no, Magda. So that you just,
Okay.
I think it's
just Caden.
to what I said.
Yeah, Caden just doesn't quite. He heard that and he heard something else. Not sure what actually was said. Olivia, Magda, yeah, you heard what she said.
Yeah.
Lara, I thought you said you were gonna cast that on people. Or me. The fuck?
Guess what?
You're gonna get mad. Don't worry about it, Caden. Don't worry about it.
That little bitch spell that she's got that makes it so you
Yeah.
can't remember the thing that she says.
Oh, mark off 2 points.
Clara.
Just I have working theories on some things, but I would need one of you to go into the bag and tell me if you also see the door in order to know if I'm
See, maybe I
correct.
would have done that before, but then you just did this. Like that was rude.
It was instinct. I'm sorry. I'm very used to keeping the secret.
I guess that's equivalent.
I had to keep it from Kieran, so I just kind of...
I'll go in the bag.
No,
It could be dark in there, Ag, and it's a magical item.
Is it magical darkness? You could see it.
I mean, that's the thing is I don't know if it's going to be magically dark for you in there. It wasn't for me. That's the test, and I don't want to cause you to go into a magical dark bag. So,
That's fair. I won't go in the bag.
thank you. So,
I'll get in the bag if you stop doing this, but don't do that again to us.
you just have to tell me if you also see a door.
Sure, but just keep that in mind.
This is unnerving.
Olivia's gonna get in the bag.
All right.
Peer pressure.
You lower yourself into the bag.
I know,
and
watches
you can.
I have like an arm
concern
down.
as she disappears.
Olivia's laying on the
arms
ground,
are-
arm down.
Olivia's arms are still crossed, and she's just lowering slowly.
Grabbing onto your collar.
As you are lowered in, you find yourself in the bag. You look around. All the books are on shelves, neatly ordered. You see the boxes on the ground. And as you, Clara, give me a strength saving throw since you're trying to hold her, and she's basically like hovering above the ground.
I mean, how did I have to fall fully in?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you lose your grip as you
I was
sort of
not
land.
the person to do this.
As you land gently on the ground and you look around, there's a lot of books on these shelves. There's one in a language you actually speak that Clara might not speak, Undercommon. You see that book, with a title, as well as some other ones. Do you peruse what's up in here, or you just sort of look around?
I guess I'll probably just like scan the book titles to make sure there's nothing like that could threaten Clara's life for some. I don't know. I'm overprotective.
Sure.
I need to check them.
Sure. The ones that you understand is one in common that says, "What is a lich?" And then
It's a great start.
And one in Undercommon that says, "The curse and the creatures of the Underdark." Do you speak Sylvan as well?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Elvish and Undercommon.
Yep. And then there's no door down here. There's a hand dangling. Yep. Pulls you right out.
Okay.
No.
Fuck.
But why do you have a book on liches?
That was in their bag. Like those were the books from the wizards.
Oh.
It was in there when I found it. I haven't read it yet.
Well, there's one on the curse too. That might be useful.
There it?
Yeah.
I knew there was one on the curse, but it wasn't that one.
Well, no, like the other one that's on the curse. It's like the curse and something. It was a long title. It had multiple words in it,
That generally is how titles of books work.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only started reading the one on that was just on the curse. I couldn't read all the other languages. I know many, but not all of them.
You've been reading The Creation of the Curse and What We Know.
That one. I've been reading on the creation of the curse and not on the inner workings of it.
But you did not see that title because it was in Sylvan.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that one. No.
Okay. Well, and there was no door?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
So now you're hallucinating. So let's deal with that next.
I know this door. It's fine. Could be.
I know this.
I know. I have a very good working understanding of, I think, what this door is. She's gonna pull out her book. Yeah, she's gonna pull out from not her usual spell book, but from like a back pocket on the back of her belt, and hold up the thinner book. It's clearly not written in her handwriting either. Say that I found this book a long time ago after going through a door. And
The same door you're implying.
Related, I think I'm being followed by doors. That's a thing that keeps happening. This one just led me to...
How do doors follow you?
Magic? I don't know, how did you create a snake on Caden's hand?
That is a good point. Rebuttal?
Well,
Okay.
As you're having this conversation, you can take a short rest if you like. It is
More than that, my friend.
it is evening, and it's been evening for quite some time. It's probably approaching. Your internal clocks are telling you it's probably approaching midnight at this point.
We still haven't rested.
No.
no.
We went into these tunnels.
So this place, we need to talk more about this, Clara. But should we?
Just lives in my bag.
It's not fine. You said that about other people that turned out to be not fine. Just remember. Anyway, it's been a long day. Do we want to this is a nice room. There's like a kitchen. There's heat.
I think
Should
if we
we
take
sleep?
watches, it's probably
Yeah.
in our best interest to sleep.
Yeah,
That'd be good. I would appreciate the sleep.
me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You good, Egg?
So,
I
go ahead.
I
said
was
you
just gonna say, is the one who's taking the least amount of damage I can take first watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the floor.
Wake
She
me when you're
pulls out her
done,
bedroll.
Mika.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take I'll take one of them. I don't know. Wake me up, somebody.
Yeah.
If you want, you can wake me up when your watch ends, and I'll help.
Yeah.
And she'll roll over and just go sleep.
That gift to hers.
Thanks, Ag.
And with that, we are going to finish. That is the end of our time. That's a good place to stop. Don't roll your long rest. We'll do that next session if you successfully go through it.
Can I do one quick thing while Magda is on her first watch before I forget for next session?
Yep.
She's gonna look at the botany books that Claire discarded, the basic ones, and think about her sad garden that's mostly dead on her rooftop. And she's gonna pick up a few of those books.
Delightful. Yep. Okay.
That's awesome.
Garden that we helped kill.
Yeah, they died of frost.
Gardens are for
dagger.
combat.
Yes.
Oh man.
Well
well
the
done.
poll has gone up. FYI. And you may even be able to see it on stream, I think. Maybe.
Oh, you can. Look at that niftiness.
I like that title suggestion. Claire, consistently
Oh.
concerning.
That's the
Yeah.
old Twitchspiration poll. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. That's not the new one at all. I can probably fix that.
Sorry, my radiator's begging.
It's
And those
just,
are-
no, it's the tubes in this laboratory.
It didn't time
that
well
was
enough to actually do it. It's right there. It's within almost arm's
Hey,
reach.
yeah, we can see it.
I mean, you don't want to see my corner of my room that is not pretty.
You have a very carefully crafted neatness in your vision line.
I do. If I were to look at the couch, that's 3 steps that way. Over here is fine. Like, you just have to look at my. No, stop. Alexa, stop.
Are you rolling short rest?
Yeah, just a couple dice for short rest,
Yeah.
just in case.
Well, yeah, you're sitting around talking. Anyone who wants to roll short rest dice may. I don't think Ag actually took any real damage, did she?
I guess I'll roll a short rest.
Remember,
so I can
you
use my
only
routine.
regain at most half your hit dice on a long rest, so I'm using 2 of my 5.
Yeah.
Me too.
That wonderful D6 of the wizard.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do arcane recovery
Okay.
as well.
D10 fighter. So good.
So I can do. Do I round up or down for arcane recovery?
Down.
Okay, so I can get 2.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get a 2nd level spell back, so I have 2.
Ooh, my superiority did come back too. This is amazing. I love being a fighter.
Also, yeah.
Okay.
Talk about that outside of game. I was just thinking about a conversation I had about in-world knowledge kind of things for creatures and whatnot. Who has what? But yeah.
I think it's giving me back a chronal shift, and it shouldn't because I only get that back on a long rest. But it just gave me back 1. So
Interesting.
I'm gonna take that off.
Okay. That means, let's see, chronal shift.
It says I can regain any upon a long rest, but I didn't long rest.
Yeah.
Short rested, but it gave it to me. It gave it back to me.
Oh, it's just being generous.
I mean, I'll take it. If you're not going to say no, I'll take it.
No, I feel compelled to. It says long rest inside of it too.
Yeah, but it gave it back to me.
Weirdness. Yeah. So it looks like Magda for the win. The Portent dice goes to you. Then Clara, you spent yours today.
I did.
That
A
bitter
5. Ooh,
bittersweet
nice.
yellow. Ooh,
A
thank
nice
you.
low roll. So
I
also,
do still have inspiration from when you gave it to me last session.
yeah, you do. I think
think I have-
Olivia has inspiration as well. That's just been sitting there.
Yeah, I
Where'd
don't
you
know.
lose Clara's
Hmm?
inspiration?
What?
She
Claire
used it.
spent her Twitch inspiration, but she has inspiration as well.
I made a really bad joke.
Well, yeah, I know, but when did she use her Twitch inspiration?
I used it to try and force one of them to fail their save.
One of the laser
She
penises.
rolled. She
Yeah.
made them take
Sorry.
an 11.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
Uh-huh.
evidently was not.
That's okay. I think it wasn't a big moment because was it something they were immune to? I think.
But no,
No,
they
they-
already saved.
Yeah, they
or
got a
failed.
6, but I called it before
Right.
because I was following through on Portent.
Yes. So, well done, Magda. See where that pops up. And so, as you guys bed down for a short rest, we will pick this up next time, or long rest. Sorry, as you bed down for a long rest, we will pick this up next time as you make your way through the jungle and my wonderful map. That
We made it
nothing on
past
it
the
looks
laser
phallic.
penises.
You did make it past the laser penises. Yeah. Guys. are
You're
insane.
welcome. Bye-bye!
Thank you all
Yeah.
for playing.
Thanks.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.